ricotta, gon' pop me a bottle, pour me up a drink. Yeah, she been sipping on ricotta, gon' pour her a bottle, pour her up a drink, pour us up a drink. A ricotta, we gon' have a drink of ricotta. Everybody drinking ricotta. Get you some ricotta. Oh, I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. I've been sipping on ricotta. Ricotta or more. Drink like a boss.
You niggas is nuts, man. Yo, Insane, you coming out to Vegas with us for the fight?
Oh, nigga, you know I'm coming to Vegas for the fight.
Yeah, that nigga Crawford gonna beat that nigga Spencer.
You lost your motherfucking mind, nigga. Did you see what Spence did to the last nigga's face?
What he do?
Alright, got to reconstruct that nigga face. Sent this whole face to Dr. Miami.
Dr. Miami.
Daddy mama, he lie like a motherfucker. You laughing, nigga. You know Dr. Miami don't make faces, right?
Oh.
Yeah, that's how bad the ass one was. Think about it, nigga. But you know what? I'm pulling up to Vegas with that for show. Yeah, that for show.
Who the fuck is for show?
Nigga, that for show money. That for show money is hoe money. See, you know dumb motherfuckers like you, I know what y'all think. Y'all think Lane gonna go out there, buy this bitch a flight.
Yes.
Buy the bitch a ticket to the fight, take her shopping, just in hopes to get the pussy. Shit.
Cause my daddy mama, yeah, that's the shit that you ass would do.
Fuck you think they made me that, nigga? You know in Vegas they call me boy, right? Cause I'm that boy. I ain't like that. Look, nigga, I'm ready to go use the bathroom, nigga. You niggas don't touch nothing. Listen, man, I like how you count and laugh and don't put shit in your pocket. He good though. I might fuck with him. Keep this nigga around. I'll be back out there, nigga. Put that in your pocket.
Yeah, black excellence. I am excellently black with intelligence. I am heaven sent.
You are now tuned in to the Slicktalk with Scalez podcast.
Yo, we live, we here, we lit.
We are.
We back.
We
back.
back.
You know what the fuck going on, man. This is the Slicktalk with Scalez podcast, episode 202. You know what I'm saying? It's Wednesday. You know what I mean? We alive, we lit, we blessed. If you tuned into this podcast, please share it. If you tapped in on Facebook, if you tuned in on X, please re-exit, I guess, because it's not retweet anymore. So I guess re-exit. And if you tapped in with us on YouTube, you know what's going on, man. Shout out to our YouTube subscribers, YouTube audience over there. Please hit that like, subscribe, notification button and all that so you can be tapped in with the Slicktalk with Scalez podcast. Interesting weekend, you know what I mean? Interesting week. Crazy. It was Halloween. A lot of crazy shit was going on. So we're gonna get into a lot of that shit. We got a special guest in the building with us today. You know, we're gonna be on our semi-political diatribe, how we do from time to time around here. So people who tap in with us all the time know how we do that. You know what I mean? Every once in a while we get in our political bag. So we got a brother that I like to use one of Nipsey Hussle lyrics and say they got the community meeting and they got the brother Stacy speaking. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we got the homie Stacy in the building. You know what I'm saying? What's good?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like I told you before, man, you know, I like what you're doing. I like what y'all bringing to the table. Of course, we got my girl Ash in the building.
You already know that.
My teammate, y'all. This is my teammate. Sorry.
Kickbox.
Shout out to MMA.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My boy Don.
Man.
As I stated before, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the opportunity to be on here. Yes, I would like to formally introduce myself.
Go ahead.
My name is Stacy Smiter. I grew up on the north side, the south side, the east side, the west side, you name it, I lived it. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm running for 5th District Alderman next spring. I think it's time that we change the narrative downtown. I know a lot of y'all, just like me, sit around, whether you at at dinner, hanging out with your friends, anything of that nature, and talk about the trajectory that our city is going. I've been here all my life, and it seems like it's nothing I can really say outside of for our sports teams that I can really say I'm proud of that the city has shown us. It's been years of the same practices, the same methodologies, the same methods, but yet it's costing us, the constituents, more money than we have to make. I've never been the type to sit there and tell people what they should do, but if you one of the ones that's doing the complaining, I ask you to listen in now because I'm trying to light that fire and let us all know that, hey, now it's the time to really voice your opinion and get out here and get that vote in. You know, everybody know in 2024, the presidential election is coming up. So most people tend to put their focus and time into that, not knowing that, hey, from a national level, we not as affected as much as we are from a local. It's what
Facts.
our local is what's driving everything. And let's just be honest. It's been the same driving forces that has been turning the same corners, you know. In Wisconsin alone, the only revenue generator that they really can have is the property tax. So it's causing us who own homes or anything of that nature, it causing us to pay more. Just coming up next year, it's going to be a 2.1% increase in the property tax. That's about $48 to $60 more for someone who probably ain't got that.
Yeah.
And then we ain't going to talk about the state of renting. They building all these new apartments and high rises for renters. Why do you have to be a renter forever? That should be an option that you choose. If you don't want to be a renter, but because of how high everything is and the cost of everything going up, it's leaving you there stuck. You're paying $1,200 to $1,500 to live in what they call the hood. Why are you paying that much to someone when that could be utilized for something else? Meaning that you could be paying a mortgage, paying a car note. And so what I'm bringing to the table as the alderman, I'm coming back to the trenches. I think we forgot about that. Everybody remember Mike McGee junior Yeah, he did what he did and got in trouble for the things that he did. But one thing we can't say about that brother and his father, they was heavily involved in a community.
Facts.
When you needed them, they was there. When something wasn't right, they was there. They weren't just there for photo op moments and they're just to show and do the formalities, because that's what it seems like a lot of our aldermen are doing now. They just doing things out of formality, like that 2% sales tax. They did those meetings out of formalities. Majority of them, I'm sure, already had their minds made up that, yeah, we got to vote for it because of bad business decisions that were made decades ago. They've been knowing since 1995 that the share of revenue that the state once had with us was dwindling. Why you didn't come up with a plan B for that? You know that it's laws in place that stagnate us from being able to generate additional revenue. Why wasn't we try to advocate for that while we're waiting decades later now when people are awoke and starting to realize, hey, what y'all doing down here is, we need to have some conversations. We need to figure out how we gonna get out of this hole.
So isn't even that kind of weird that they on that type of time, even with what Evers trying to pass with the weed, how they keep shooting down the weed shit in Madison. You know what I'm saying? Like every time they try to come up with something with it, it gets shot down every time. Since he's been in office, it's been denied. I think it just got shot down again. So I think it's been denied like 3 times.
Oh, that's because, Wisconsin is a very conservative state. And with it being a conservative state, a lot of people in power don't agree with the outcome and the aspect, even though it might do generate revenue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's another, like, even if you look at the state of Illinois, that's why they don't really be tripping on their tolls anymore. Have y'all noticed how the toll isn't really like a big deal over there? Because they made like $1 billion off of legalizing marijuana last year. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird to me that we're out of all the lake locked states of the Midwest, we're the only ones who haven't legalized marijuana. Us and like Iowa, I think, are the only places who haven't legalized marijuana yet.
Yes, I was just at a speaking engagement last month. I was the moderator for the panel, and they were discussing they just legalized it down there in Missouri, both recreational and from medicinal. But because in real estate, you might come across a property that they have a grow house on it that's legal. So I was there to moderate the discussion and just It's more so the legality of being able to come up with the proper regulations, and rules in Wisconsin is different from rules in Illinois. So once you get more people involved with really understanding the type of money that it could generate without having that negative stigma, because most people think with marijuana it has that negative stigma behind it, the violence behind
It's
it.
such an old way of thinking, though, don't you
Of
think?
course.
It's
Of
very
course.
it's very dated.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? It makes us seem very behind the times.
Yes, of
You know
course.
what I mean? With that way of thinking, like thinking marijuana is like a super drug or something like that, some 1950s propaganda type shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's so played.
Absolutely.
Right now.
And that's one of the reasons why
My fault.
my tagline is it's time for a different perspective and change of the narrative. We have to get into a position where we have to think outside the box. Our city is in dire stress. Our budget is in dire stress. So we have to go back to the old ways of how you do things when money is getting funny and money is tight. You start preserving, you start allocating resources the right way and utilizing them in the ways that you got to stretch it. So everybody, what you used to do when you was younger to get extra, you start selling candy. I remember being back in high school where we used to sell candy out our lockers.
Mhm.
The new Jordans that was coming out, you ain't have all of the bread for it. You sold candy bars. We got to start thinking outside the box and start really looking at what businesses we are allowing into the community. We opening up more liquor stores and gas stations than anything,
Mhm.
but yet leaving people that look like us. We got to struggle to get those businesses. We got to struggle to get those permits. There's no reason why in a neighborhood where it's predominantly African American, not one black owned a liquor store over there or a clothing store or even a gas station. We have one owner of a gas station that's on Locust, and we're supposed to be proud of that. It's like we get in this mind frame and this pretense it's okay to be, well, at least one of us is doing it.
Yeah.
Nah, we have to start not accepting that that's what the norm is.
I think what else happened for the state of Illinois too is like what you advocating for is their leadership got younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think I seen a change in Illinois around like when Obama started running for office. You seen like a change in their leadership. Like when I would see like speakers or legislature people or even like aldermen or even like mayors. Look at the last mayors in Chicago.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They've been either ethnic, the shorty was, LGBTQ and she black and a woman. You know what I'm saying? So that like shows you how kind of they're you know what I mean? That they got out of that old regimen and shit. And I think that's what Wisconsin needs to do. We need to come around to that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like I think that's kind of what's holding us back because you right. Unless you get new blood down there, who's thinking like that? You know what I mean? Them people get very complacent. You know what I'm saying? In what they do, and they don't want to interrupt the cycle of how they do things. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Disrupt it, rather.
Hey, you
running uncontested too. A lot of them is. If you look
Yeah,
back
absolutely.
for the last several elections since 2012, the voting districts, write in 100 votes, and it's just people coming up voting and writing in the person's name, and 5,600 votes went to this one particular candidate because of the fact that no one running against them.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand what the alderman actually is supposed to do, what their role and responsibility is. So that's what I'm here to let people know, what the role and responsibility as the district manager. And let's put it like this: if you was working for a company, you have your CEO, which is the mayor, and then you have his board of directors, which is the district aldermen. Their job is not only a legislative body, but also administrator of that district. So if you're breaking it down to where you're in charge of this district, you actually in charge of this district, and Scalez in charge of that district. Each one of y'all are responsible for making sure that the resources that we're giving to you and allocating to you is being properly used.
Right.
And if you not generating a profit for it, when we have those quarterly meetings, we're going to sit down and talk like, hey, why your district ain't thriving? It looks like here that we allocated X amount of funds to your district, but yet we got zero return on the investment and it's costing us more. Every district should be operated in a fashion that is like a business, but also the shareholders is us, the constituents. So they are obligated to make sure that we get a return on our investment. And that's where the problem coming in. We're not getting our return on investment. We're going farther and farther down the hole. Our MPS schools, they just slashing them, throwing everybody into choice programs and thinking, hey, let's give them handouts and make them feel like we're doing something when in actuality, we're over here creating smoke screens. The only districts that are thriving is the downtown district and the hard work that they put in on over there on the south side. Why we can't bring that same energy over here? Why is it that we having movies and documentaries made about our districts that we live in? And we find that to be okay to do because it's something to talk about. No, that is a reflection of how things is being ran. I don't finger point. I don't blame no one. It's just that when no one is talking about different methods and showing you and telling you what they supposed to be doing, how can you know if no one is telling you? And then we have this habit of voting out of familiarity. If I know you and I know you've been doing that forever, when I see your name, I'm going to vote for it.
Yeah.
When I see that new candidate, I don't know anything about him or her. They might be a renegade or they might not think like how the norm is. Because ever since I've been running, I've been hearing, hey, you know, you got to think like a politician. You have to think politics. I grew up on 12th and Ring. I grew up in the streets. That's everyday politics. That's
Politics as
everyday
usual.
politics as usual.
Yeah.
Not only that, I've also have on the corporate side of things, you know, I've got myself through not once, but college twice. I have my bachelor's in administration and management with emphasis in love numbers. I even got my associates in quality management, where all I did for several plus years, altogether 17, I problem solved. I came up with statistical methods and different processes to help you save money and also clean up your clutter. And so that's what I'm doing with this, is bringing that same knowledge that I had from both the corporate side and what I learned from being in the streets. Being in the streets, I was homeless. I lived in shelters. You name it, I lived it. So to survive that and to be able to utilize not only what I learned in school, but what I also learned in the streets, that's a cold combination because I know what is needed because I come from it.
Right.
You cannot know what's needed if you're not in the trenches. You can't just do everything sitting downtown. You can't do everything having meetings and shaking hands with people who's not
who already got they, you know what I mean, who already set in life and shit. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's sad that we can sit here and know who the selected few are that's doing good while we all can't be doing good, while we all have to struggle. Right. I don't agree with that. And because we are the shareholders of this city, Milwaukee, Wisconsin is the biggest revenue generator for the state, for the Southern East region. We generate more money for this entire state than any other county. But yet we have other counties that you walk down, you go outside, they got walkable streets. It's what they call paved, walkable areas where paved streets. They got shops outside. They got coffee shops. They got paint shops. Why we can't have that? Why we can't have that same thing? Or we get, well, you know, black folks don't like doing nothing. We love coming up with an excuse. You can have a justified excuse. Don't mean it has to be accepted. But we tend to always accept it. Like, man, black folks can't ever. If we know that, why we don't change that narrative? Let's change that perspective. And those who don't want to be a part of it, they're going to weed themselves out. But it takes for us to have to really start holding accountability. It's like we don't hold nobody accountable until they do something to us. We only get involved when we are directly affected.
Facts.
Yeah. We shouldn't do that. We should be involved because it's going to affect you whether you think it is or not.
Absolutely.
And you know, we all hear that a lot. Man, I don't vote because, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I don't benefit off of it. You actually do. You hurting yourself even more having that thought mentality. And when you ask them, why are you thinking that? They never really give you a reason. They just say, oh, man, because when I vote, it don't go nowhere. If that's the case, I would have never got pardoned. Had it not been for Tony Evers winning the election again, I probably would have never got pardoned because Republicans has not pardoned anyone in a very long time. So I tell people, your vote does count. And even if you are a felon, a lot of felons got this myth that, oh, because I'm a felon, I can't vote. Yes, you can. As long as you're not on papers, you don't owe nothing. You can get out and vote. You have your constitutional rights back. The only thing you can't do is possess a firearm. That's the only thing you can't do as a felon. And so a lot of people don't tell them that because those are the voters that they don't want to get out and vote.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is they don't want you to get the information because then you'll get to thinking differently and voting differently. It's almost like something me and Don was talking about that he was debating with people at the studio about the other night. And I don't want to get into what it is because it'll bring up some stupid shit. But it's a theory that people think, but it was something that was programmed in the people. And that's what I was trying to get Don to understand. Like, they're just blindly into shit. You get what I'm saying? And that's something that we subscribe blindly to shit and don't even know you subscribing to it. You know what I mean? Like, because they said this, that's what it is. I was raised by a woman who was an educator, and she always taught me, Harvey, you have to think analytical. And I used to be like, what the hell are you talking about, mama? And she used to be like, if they say this is black and white, then you need to see where the purple is.
Right.
You need to find the purple in it because somewhere they're trying to cover it up from you. So you have to go saying pretty much that you black, and you're going to have to go further for the information to get where you trying to get, because it's not going to be on the surface level for you. You see what I'm saying? But most of us just take the surface level and run with it. And it could be bad for us, but we just subscribe to it because that's what everybody else, and that's the norm or the majority. You know what I mean?
That's the 85% that's blind.
Facts.
In mathematics, that's what they say, 85% deaf, dumb, and blind, while the 10%, which is the rich and those who are in power, is trying to keep the other 85% blind, while that 5% of those who are woke, they get to calling you Malcolm X, get to calling you Malcolm X, get to calling you Martin Luther King. It's not that sense. It's just that some people seeing it outside the box, seeing that purple color.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing black and white, they're looking like, hey, that's not just black and white, that's blue as well.
Exactly.
And that's me. And that's how I view things. I have never been the type to look at things from a norm, but I know how to be able to maneuver because of the fact that the shadow that I did have over me, I had to always go that extra mile. So I always had to put in the extra hours to study, because I already knew that, for one, I am a black man, and two, I am a black man with an opinion. So when you very opinionated and you don't fold to the norm, you tend to get a lot of backlash because people don't agree with your views, or they may think that your views is so outstandishly wild until they realize that, wait a minute, I kind of like what you're talking about because of what you're saying is the truth. It's just that I didn't want to sit here and listen to it until it's too late. And that's where we at now with our government and how they running our city.
So I wanted to ask you too, like, as black, I be seeing these statistical things like online and shit, and we're one of the blackest cities in America. You know what I'm saying? So like the north side of Milwaukee itself, the north side of Milwaukee makes up 60% of the population of Milwaukee, and that population is like 58% black. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's higher than spots that we think is black as fuck. And it's weird that we don't, like, it's what you said. We got a bunch of black faces down there, but what are you doing? Are you just being a face, or are you being active? Because as black as this city is, our entire damn near common council should be black.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if you look at a city like Atlanta, and I can take Atlanta because I lived there for 8 years and went to school there and shit, that's what I saw there. You get what I'm saying? Like, the city was black and their common council and shit reflected that. You see what I'm saying? Like, you could see it. Here, you don't see that. It's still like a separation. Like, even the niggas that's there don't seem like niggas. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's weird. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to.
Politics.
Yeah, it's the politics.
It's definitely
a
the
lot
politics.
of them has been drilled in them in order to win, in order to get in office. You have to be a certain way. You have to carry yourself a certain way. All I just tell people, the more authentic you are, the more people believe you and respect you. Me, I don't want nobody getting in under a pretense of doing something, and then when they get in there, that they take off the sheep clothes, and then they got the whole wolf suit underneath. No, I'm real raw and uncut. I have a rough side, but I also have a passionate side. My passionate side is that, yes, I truly care about my peoples. I truly care about the African American community. I care about the Milwaukee community. That's why I have the only African American real estate association in Wisconsin. Me and 22 members, we are called the Greater Milwaukee Board of Realtors. We are the Milwaukee chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is the only African American association for real estate professionals in the United States. For a very long time, we couldn't be realtors. So they did their own thing. So I bought that here to back here because I wanted to have that right buffer in between our counterparts, which is the Hispanics and the Asians and the white communities who are thriving when it comes to home ownership compared to us black. In last decade, we went from a 17% increase to only 19. That's ridiculous to have such a little increase from home ownership. And then just here in Wisconsin, I believe it was 0.4%. That's terrible. 25% of our citizens here in Milwaukee is living in poverty, within the last year. 25%. That's a lot of folks.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it's
a lot.
555.
So then take my math, where 58% of that population is black.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So a half of that is living under poverty. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot, bro.
That's a lot of people, and
then we got mental health.
4%. Oh, mental health, 16%. In Milwaukee, residents are suffering from mental health, 16%.
So 25% of that is living below the poverty line, and 16% of that 25% is got mental health issues.
Yeah.
So it's
imagine the combination
of
all that in, and then
with no resources.
I was gonna say
and then the resources that they have now. I'm okay with getting help from, because that's what the city job is, to help. But when you give it that cheap feeling, like I didn't have to do nothing to get it, or when you offering it, I have to be damn near homeless,
or there's no follow through either. It's just
or the follow through is so sloppy that it's taking forever. Like prime example, the SDC situation, they put out all these numbers. Oh, we got all this money, paid all of that, but did they tell you how the process was? How they had some of the families waiting months to get the money to where they got further into debt.
Exactly.
They were waiting on it, and then they ran out of money. But mind you, this is money that they should have allocated properly, administrated properly, but they don't, because there's a lot of handshakers and politicking, and I get this question: what makes you different? What makes you go down there and do that? Bro, I've been broke all my life. I just happen to be successful because I put in the hard work. And plus, I did 23 and ones. Anybody that comes from that knows that, hey, I'm not ever trying to go back there. And plus, I ain't putting all this work to get into office to turn around and be shady. If that's the case, I'd rather stay out of the spotlight.
Yeah, even put them people in your business, because you got to put them people in your business to run for office.
Absolutely, you under the microscope, and I'm gonna be under the microscope because I come from everybody. I come from the difference. I'm not the norm that they have down. I have never been a norm, and that's never been my intent. When I say I put in a lot of energy just to get to be able to sit here with y'all and have this conversation. It's been a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of waiting. I waited a whole year just to get a real estate license because of the time they got this act where if you was ever in trouble and caught a felony, they had to determine whether or not if you should get your license to just sell real estate. And literally for a whole year, I called them every week for a whole year after the time allotted to where they had a time frame to give you a response. It took them a whole year to give me a response. And I called them every week. It got to the point where I knew their names. They started knowing who I was. So it's those little things like that we run into. And we ain't going to talk about trying to pull permits and get stuff done here. It's like, man, it's pulling nails. You call your alderman like, hey, I got an idea for something. I'm trying to get a permit. How you go through the process. Then they stop answering your calls. Their assistants stop answering. They emailing you 2 weeks later. But these are our elected officials that we're electing.
What's the checks and balances for that shit though? You know what I mean? Like I guess they live like this or they operate like that because there's no accountability for them. There's nobody to hold their feet to the fire. Like you said, we just gonna go vote for the same people because we've been seeing the same names on the ballot every time we go vote. So we're not holding them accountable. Then there's no like state legislature to be like, hey, you're not doing the right thing in Milwaukee. You see what I'm saying? There's nobody to really be like, where's that? I think that's a part of it. It's almost like I was talking to somebody that works at a choice school earlier, and they were saying like, man, it's crazy how we doing these kids like they be bad, and then we can't really kick them out because we need the money and we need the numbers for us to even get paid. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you see what I'm saying? The correlation with it is kind of like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. And that's because of the way they got the system set up.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? Because if it was still 220, then half of them kids wouldn't even be there.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And you could do some other shit.
That's where we come in at, the voters. That's how the power that we hold is the power of the pen. The same way that our ancestors and the people before us had to thrive just to get the right to use what we take for granted regularly. That's where our accountability come in. That's where we hold them accountable at. When we get in there, if I win, I pray to the man upstairs that I do. I want everybody to hold me accountable. Let me know when I'm not doing my job. Somebody who from both sides, right? And it's something me and Don was talking about. And since I've been traveling a little bit more, because I always travel because my dad and shit, and then I lived in Atlanta for like 8 years. And then even with my own music career, I was on the road and shit. But being with Maya and Destiny in these last couple months, I've been moving around a lot, and especially to somewhere like New York, that's like an epicenter of all kind of cultures and all kind of shit going on there, right? When I look at how shit is, this city doesn't value like art, if that makes sense to you. It's too working class. Do you understand what I'm saying? And because the job market is so fucked up, that's a like I said, everything here seems dated. Right. And now I get why people say that about Milwaukee. I never really understood that because I've always been a future thinking person. So even living in a place that's dated, it never bothered me because I don't think that way anyway. And the people I'm on my likes, we don't think like that. But the majority here do. Right. And from looking at it from afar and going somewhere that thinks forward and people are moving a little faster, it makes you look back at here like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like they can build up the Fiserv, but we don't really even have the mentality for that type of shit. Right. You get what I'm saying? To even appreciate
or I wouldn't even
like
say
that.
Not the I think the powers that be don't have it, but the people actually do. And I think that's why a lot of creatives, a lot of us get frustrated or we shut down. Cause you know, I talk to a lot of people that's in our industries or multiple industries, and they always feel like they have to go somewhere else. They have to go to Atlanta. You know, a lot of us have to go to Atlanta to get our creative thinking hats on. I think in the last year or two, we've done better, but it's still not where it should be at because we've in that stagnant state of, you got to pretty much get permission. Like, you know, I always feel like you got to get permission or you got to know the who's who and that's the biggest thing for me is the gatekeeping. It's like, we do have resources and things like that, but if you're not the who's who, then it's like, I don't want to give it to you because I don't trust it. And it shouldn't be that way. Yeah. Because it's a lot of people that's able to push Milwaukee forward, but because our name don't ring bells, then it's like, oh, I want, and it's like, it shouldn't be. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, it's also, it speaks to Scalez' point is that what's valued. Yeah. Right.
And so we know it's not valued.
Our creativity isn't valued here. Right. So what they value here is somebody who then worked 30 years and bought houses and stuff like that. Or the drug dealer.
Yeah. It's either that or the gambler, the person who can come up at Potawatomi and hit a lick, like the lick hitter.
You know, we don't get zero of any of that either.
Oh yeah, no, so think about how much money pours into that place. Like they should have a hotel and casino and gambling tax. Period. They should have to pay the city because you got a hotel, so you should have to pay the hotel tax, and you should have to pay a gambling tax.
The state tells us what we can and can't.
So is that why Hard Rock didn't want to come here?
Yes.
Or is that why Hard Rock couldn't come here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The state has told us, hey, we're only going to allow you so much room for growth, but as a independent legislative body, we can advocate, we can push forward, we can come up with methods of fighting with our state, not in a negative way, but in an advocacy way, let you know that, hey, we have to be allowed to do more than just gather property tax.
Yep.
as an incentive for us of generating revenue. That's the reason why our revenue in our state is so stagnant and stuck, because we don't have any other way.
Like Sonny said in the comments a few minutes ago, he said a lot of people he talked to don't even want to be homeowners. They rather pay rent. So it's funny that we live in a city that wants property tax money, but you're not making it easier for people who are maybe, because majority of these people are under the poverty line. So you're not creating programs or resources for these people to become property owners, but you want property tax to be the foundation of the finances here. That's weird.
That's
weird. You get what I'm saying?
But also too, to kind of coming in on what he said, not most people, I don't believe most people want to be.
No, he said a lot of people that he speak to, though, you would think you would hear people talking home ownership, and they really don't. Motherfuckers be talking about finding somewhere to rent. And I would say in most general conversations,
you gotta think about it. If I only got enough money to buy my house, to only purchase my house and pay my mortgage, I don't have no extra discretionary funds for repairs or enhancements and things like that. So most people don't have it. We just did the math. Most people is living beyond the poverty level. And I try to tell people this every time. So when there's arguments about certain stuff like tipping and things like that, I see consumer spending habits daily. I'm an entrepreneur. I know consumer spending habits. And when you learn in marketing and things like that, you have to watch that. People really don't have the funds. So I don't think that they don't want to. It's shit. If I get enough coins to just get the house, that's all I got. I don't have any other resources. And like you said, it's a lot of programming and stuff that then you got the programs and stuff that's out there is gatekeep. Yeah. So now I got a house and now I can't even get the information because I'm not who's who or the click. And then now I just don't got the money.
So I'm gonna give you an example, right?
Can address all of that. A lot of us think it's taboo because everybody is doing it. The biggest thing is financial literacy.
Oh, absolutely.
When I say financial literacy,
absolutely.
I'm not telling you how to use business credit.
No.
Actually understanding the whole concept of what it takes to have what it called financial literacy.
Yeah.
And that includes knowing how to balance a checkbook. That includes knowing point A to point B. That includes just knowing how to sit down and write out what all your bills
a budget, a normal budget.
And if we were to bring that back into the schools, because that's one of the things that I'm advocating for, is like,
no, absolutely.
One of the things I'm doing in my district that once I do get in is that I'm seeing how the performance of the schools are doing, how the performance of the business are doing. So that way I know what's going on in the district, how I can, as the alderman from the administrative side, better utilize the resources and advocate for my district. I so happen to live in a district where it's the working class, but it's the most diverse. It's one of the District 6 and District 5 are two of the most diverse districts and the biggest districts. District 5 goes from 77th and Lisbon to Lover's Lane and Silver Spring. Then you got Timberman Airport part of it. Then you got the little pocket of Granville in there. Those are the neglected areas that tends to get no support. Because if you look at it from a business standpoint, they worried about, it's off of 41. It really don't have no way of generate business there. Yes, you can. Anywhere you live, you can generate business as long as you involve in the right people and the right resources. I'm not saying just handing out every dick and time the ability to get a business or start a business, but allowing better resources than what we're offering. I hear so much about the SBC loan, A7. You gotta have them the perfect credit just to get that. But in order for someone to get their credit to those levels, they have to understand what they need to do without you telling me I'm going to $1,000 to come teach me that. Why? Why do I have to pay for that?
I say that all the time, don't I?
Like
it's a con.
It's a con. Like, for example, even a brother from here, and he's like married into my daughter's family because he married her cousin. But he used to be the head. He's a brother. He was the head of GE here, right? And they moved him to Atlanta a couple years ago to run the Atlanta offices or whatever. And when I was down there for homecoming last year, I had a conversation with him at his crib, and he explained to me, because it's a beautiful home, right? In the heart of Atlanta, though. And most people in Atlanta, they live Lithonia, Sandy Springs, you know what I mean? Like surrounding areas. Nobody really lives in Atlanta. I asked him, because he's rich, why did he decide to stay in Atlanta? He said that the city of Atlanta gave him a tax break. Marietta and them other counties wasn't trying to give him one, but the city of Atlanta told him, if you build a home here, we'll practically build this motherfucker for you. They went half on him, literally 50%, half on the property with him, with building it just because he stayed in Atlanta. You see what I'm saying? So that type of shit is what I'm talking about, like resources, shit that incentivize you staying here and becoming a homeowner. Yeah, I'm a rent because I plan on moving to Texas in a little while. You get what I'm saying? Or I plan on moving to Georgia, or I don't plan on staying here. So why the fuck would I buy a house in Milwaukee? Because most of us got plans on getting out of here.
Options. I thought we had it, but it wasn't for us.
It wasn't for us.
It was to keep the outsiders to come in and work for our city so we can keep the police officers.
Oh, yeah.
And all those. So they had those incentives of buying a house and getting certain breaks. So again, it don't be for us. It be for
the in crowd.
The outsiders, so they can stay in to keep controlling us.
Yeah, facts.
You know?
But I always tell everyone when we run into those situations and when them conversations is presented, that power of our vote, that's the biggest thing that we got when it comes to being able to get the people down there that we want. And when I say want, let's go back to the old debate back in high school where you had to give your reasons why you should be voted. Same thing with them, just on a grander scale, because they actually run in the city. They actually runs the city. The mayor and the common council and the supervisors and all of those departments, they are the ones who runs everything. The mayor and the common council is the front. They the soldiers. They the ones that the accountability starts with, and our county supervisors too. You know, we spending money on rebuilding Rhino Stadium, Rhino enclosures. Well, I think it was like 15 million that I read. We're spending that type of money. We're thinking of spending that type of money because you actually had a meeting about it. Y'all created studies. Y'all had proposals written up, but yet you only giving our schools a few million, and they got to split that money with other departments. But yet you're talking about spending 17 plus million for some rhinos. We don't care about a rhino enclosure. If you can't afford them, send them back wherever you got them from.
A rhino enclosure?
Yeah.
For the zoo.
For the zoo.
Yes.
To keep them in where they at or something?
Enclosure, yeah.
17 million? Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
I don't think the zoo generates that much revenue a year.
Repairs. But guess how the best way that they do is like when they call in these meetings, the formalities. They always make sure that they follow the formalities. When they send it out, they send it out. And so that's why I say we need to change what's going on down there, is because it's like, look, we could either continue with the same thing and the same narrative, and we go farther and farther into the whole. Like
for instance, the county zoo. Like, look at where it's located. It's on the border of Brookfield, right? So does that create more revenue for Brookfield? Because most of those businesses over there are in Brookfield.
Yeah.
So that creates revenue for Brookfield, not really us.
It's the Milwaukee
but it's county. Yeah, I get. But
county.
I'm just saying, look at the location. Like, even when that was Milwaukee County Stadium, look at the location. That's in West Dallas. That's not Milwaukee. You see what I'm saying? They do weird shit like that and then try to put a Milwaukee like condentation on it when that ain't even Milwaukee. Or you're on the border where I'm saying, like, if I go to the zoo, right? I stayed over there not too long ago for something, and we was staying over there. And as I remember being over there, all the businesses that I frequent, from the Taco Bell to the gas station, were in Brookfield.
Are in Brookfield, yeah.
There aren't any businesses by the zoo that are in Milwaukee County at all. It's like Greenfield and Brookfield.
Well, they're in Milwaukee County. They're not in Milwaukee.
Is what I'm saying. They're not in the city of Milwaukee. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying, the zoo, for instance, affects that area.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it benefits the businesses over there close to it, not shit that's allocated towards
that's why
us.
you gotta have a plan before you do anything. And with all of these with everyone that's running as aldermans, including myself, asking what your plan is. Can you lay out to me what your plan is, other than what the trending topic is? If your plan include talking about the trending topics like the high increase in the crime, the high increase in teens, we all know that's the case.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying, because for anybody to be having that conversation that's 25 years or older, you know where that came from. NPS going down.
Well, we just said the statistics. All that affects it. The mental health, being in poverty. I'm gonna act out. Yes. Or we just easily patching up stuff by just giving them medicine and things like that. And that's no knock to that. But we don't really fully have a plan, and we don't work the plan, and we don't execute properly. We just patch stuff up. We literally patches it up until it can't be patched up no more, and then we just find a bigger patch.
It's something people hate that I'm gonna say right now, and I don't really give a fuck. We do that with church, right? Mm-hmm. So like when we came out of slavery, instead of going to get like therapy, we went to church.
Which they controlled.
Like, which they even controlled that.
They also controlled us with when we was enslaved.
Exactly.
So we still, which we go back to what we said from the beginning, we're still under and that's why down there it's so structured the way it is, and it's hard to penetrate because they still want to have that control.
Facts.
They still want us to be sheep.
Facts.
That's pretty much what it is. But I think what I appreciate the most from seeing, Stacy run, I know DJ Mr. Martin, it's really our people.
Yeah.
So I know these are the people that's in the trenches with us. You got school teachers and these people know the struggle. So they're not sitting there from a place of outside looking in telling us, well, I think y'all should do this because it works down here. No, it's like, no, I know what's going to work because I know what my people need.
I'm with the people.
I'm with the people every day. Like he plays kickball with us every Sunday, So that's one thing I really appreciate is seeing, and it's a younger crowd, and it's people coming in with an agenda. It's not like, because what happens is they get in there, the load is heavy. I don't doubt it's heavy because when you're working with those people, you fighting every day. But then now it just becomes a paycheck. I'm just here to fulfill what I got to fulfill to keep my check coming in, and that's pretty much what a lot of them are doing now. They get complacent,
and the benefits that come with it. A lot of perks come with that shit.
Yeah. I'm able to. So if that's cool, that's cool and that's pretty much what it's looking like. It's just cool now to just keep who's there and letting them stay there because it's working for them in their personal lives, and it's working for overall the community in a sense when it's really not.
Problem. It's not working.
It's not working.
Because if it was working, I wouldn't have no reason. If I like how our city was going, I would have zero reason to be running for office. Mm-hmm. I have no plight. I don't care about the money because as a real estate broker, I make pretty good money yearly running my company, and I'm very happy with that. So to me, it's not about the pay, but guess what? They about to get raises next year. You get, in order to get from where I come from, you get a raise. It's
for doing good.
Based off performance. Yeah. It's based off of performance.
Jobs, y'all cutting money from the budgets. Y'all cutting even people who don't agree with the police forces. We need them for the protection. We need them to have the adequate people to do their job. Y'all can't expect for them to be friendly when they got 20 people missing off the shift and they just put in 72 hours.
Yeah.
They don't condone negative behavior.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. But that creates a toxic work environment. Yeah.
As well. They part of those resources. Because trust me, when they breaking into your building, you ain't got no problem calling them. So you have to make sure that everybody is able to adequately have the resources they need. That accountability piece. And the best way to hold people accountable is by, tell them, we appreciate what you did for us. We ain't going to take that from you. Here's your flowers, but your time is up. And, I ain't going to hold too much of y'all time the rest of the night. I just wanted to let our people know that, we really have to get out here, get our voice across.
Oh, no, you ain't on our time. No, like I told you, we do this. Our audience know we do this from time to time. Right. They know we have
No, it's a lot of good people in the comments. I know you're talking. You probably can't see it, Stacy, but a lot of people is definitely.
To you.
They talking back. They definitely agree with what's going on. They have a lot of information, but it's definitely a conversation worth having. I think that's what I appreciate about being a part of this platform because it's not all. It's good to have the kicks and giggles, but this is what really matters because once we done laughing, once we cut our phones and devices off, we have to go function in the real world. No matter how much we try to disconnect from it, and it's gonna come. Whether our household perfect or not, you could be doing everything right. You got to encounter the people that's broken. You're going to encounter them somehow. So I was always raised, even when I was an educator, some of our teachers used to be like, it's easy to put the bad kid in the corner. And long as my good, no, because your bad kid going to run into, when he got to try to rob my son, you get what I'm saying? We going to still
It's
find
all
our way.
community.
We're gonna.
It's
It's
all
all
community.
So we can't disconnect. And I think what happens is we get the few that's doing well, and it's like that ain't my issue no more. And it's like it is.
Yeah.
It is gonna be your issue. Because when that stuff was happening and them riots and stuff and the looting and stuff, they was tearing down whatever they wanted to tear down. They didn't care if it was a black business, white business. Right. They was doing whatever. And like somebody said in the comments, when you got poverty, there's trauma, which is gonna bring crime. You know, so it's all a domino effect, and each hand washes the other. So I appreciate those who stepping up, and it's like you said, give those that have but it's time. It's really time.
It's good to pass the torch, and it's like we think that when we pass the torch and bring in someone with a different perspective or a different viewpoint, that it's not good, or they worry about you saying the wrong thing. Before I got on here tonight, I was literally sitting around trying to figure out what to say and what not to say, but that ain't me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm unapologetic. I know when to be professional, and I know when to speak my mind.
I mean, everybody who ran for office that we done had on here, Mr. Martin, Jazzy, we done had a few people who was running for office on here, and we always tell them this is where you can come be yourself. You know what I mean? This platform doesn't subscribe to any political views at all. So you can come here and talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Right. This is when you can be free. This ain't TMJ4 or, you know what I mean, or Fox or nobody. We own this. You know what I mean? So you can be as free as you want to over here.
I tell everybody that, you know, that's just me. I'd rather have a real conversation with you than have a fake conversation with you, because when I'm down there, I'm going to be down there representing us as a people. So I can't say I'm from the people and I don't show through my actions. My actions is always your words. No matter what you do, your action shows everything. You can say that you're not a bad person and you do something bad. Your action spoke different.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to come in. I want to be held accountable. I want everybody to say, hey, we like you. We like what you offer, but I also need the help.
So is it a certain district?
Yes, District 5.
District 5.
Yeah.
Okay, District 5.
But not only am I responsible for the outcome of that district, but I'm also responsible for helping govern the whole entire city of Milwaukee. I'm one of the think tanks that's going to be down there. And when you having everyone thinking like the same thing, you ain't gonna never get any results. We get the results we have now, the Band-Aid solution. We put Band-Aids over the big solutions and hope they work themselves out in the end. And that's what we have to get away from. Like I always say, I never finger point about anything, but when it's speaking loud, it's like, how can you deny?
I mean, yeah, it's blatant.
You don't have to finger point.
That's why I say
because it's making itself apparent.
Yeah, it's blatantly
and it's there.
Part of the problem politically across the board is a huge systemic problem is that we don't have term limits. And you allow people to run for the same seat over and over and over again, and you never get in fresh ideas and new blood. And, you know what I mean? Like you look at Congress, and these guys have had their seats for 40, 50 years, and what do you expect?
They just doing it from being normal. It's just their life now.
Yeah.
There's no. It's just this is my job.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's like if you worked at T-Mobile for 10 years. After probably the 12th year, you're just there to finish out because this is all I've been doing. Yeah. You're doing it because that's what I'm familiar with.
I'm here to get my check.
So, I'm just here to get my check.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
And that's pretty much what you see day to day is
the bare minimum.
Yep.
So locally, we don't have term limits.
No.
So that you can sit on our comment.
Yeah, Alderman can sit in there forever.
Well, it's a 4-year term, but if you run and no one runs against you, you get in another 4 years, and that's what is happening, where they're running each term, nobody running against them, then they getting back in, no one running against them, they getting back in.
What district is Bob Bowman?
I'm not too sure, but
he's down by he down
is that
he down by the raid. I think he first
district 1
because he's down by the raid.
Andrea Pratt District 1. I believe he's District 14.
District 14?
Where that's at?
So that's the downtown area?
No, the downtown area, that's District 1.
Kasani said
he lived by Pfizer.
Yeah, like off of 6th.
Yeah.
I thought he was down that area because
probably 3, I believe.
4th.
So
4th. Okay, 4th.
Thank you.
4th District.
I thought 4th District was Khalif.
No,
Khalifa.
Khalif.
That's Sherman Park.
No, that ain't.
That's 7.
That's 7.
That's
Okay,
7.
okay. Man, I am confused.
You know what? The
Well,
crazy.
you know they
I am
re-chopped it up again.
I am
In
confused.
2024 is going to be altogether in my district is 22 currently, but I believe it's going to be a total of 25. So they're going to be adding an additional 3 districts. So
Why?
there's no way as an alderman you can do the job by yourself. So part of my plan is that I'm be breaking them down to wards and having a ward, like you know how each department has a supervisor and
Sorry, guys.
assistant supervisor, but the way I'm gonna have it set up to where it's gonna be community involvement, where it's gonna be someone who oversees looking for the community service. That includes like cutting the grasses. I'm real big on curb appeal. When you making the neighborhood look nice, it makes people less susceptible to drop anything or come over there want to mess up because they see how clean and neat it is. And that can happen in all of the wards without having to use or allocate funding that you say we don't have. But if you involve the community and make them feel like they own it, they'd be more willing to be involved with it. So I'm gonna have that as part of it, where each ward has a group that's overseeing it, that's gonna meet with me once a month, and we're gonna go over the projections of the district, how they're doing. Every month, I am gonna inform my constituents, this is where we at, this is what my plan is, and my goal is for us within the next 30 days. Just like running a business, when you having y'all monthly meetings or your quarterly meetings, you breaking down to your people, hey, this is what's going on in our district. Hey, I need y'all help to do this to further this agenda item. I got a few items on the agenda that I want to discuss, but I want to have meetings. They don't do any of that. It's just, hey, you do this for me, I do that for you. Because if they were actually doing it the right way, in a way that we as the constituents should be holding them accountable, because I ain't gonna say it's a right or wrong, but as constituents, we feel there's a right way and a wrong way of how it should be done. And to me, the right way is letting us know what's going on, having us involved, and not all this last minute that's been going on.
Why? I don't understand the districts. I don't get it. I'm not a slow person at all, but like, how come the districts don't follow where the police districts are?
I know that always confused me too. Like, why isn't
4th district in 4th district?
4th district, like why does it match up? That's what confused me. The only reason why I really actually started taking a look at the districts is when I got my bartender's license. You got to go to City Hall.
Yeah.
So when I be in there waiting, I'd be like, I might as well just get familiar with the areas and start mapping it out. Or because I know of what I'm doing in those districts. So even though I live in 1st district, I live in 1st district because Martin was running out there.
Yeah.
I live in 1st, but I work heavy in this one and this one. You get what I'm saying? Like I got business or work heavy in these districts. So the things that matter in those districts pertain to me, you know, when you're talking about licensing and things like that and permits, because I'm working directly with businesses in those areas.
Why do we have 23 districts and we only got 500,000 people?
Exactly.
Because
he said they can't. You said they can't run them all.
It's the way that it's broken down by the land. So the way that they govern things, each area and a specific amount of people has to have representation. So that's why you have 16 districts. And
does New York have 50 districts? Like no. I just wonder, like,
I don't know.
I don't want to Google it and see.
Like, do New York have 50 districts? Or 100 districts?
By population, census and how many.
Yeah, I'm running for alderman in District 112. Like, what?
When's the next election?
The spring primary is February 20th, 2022.
My mom's birthday.
And that's to make
2024.
Yes. February 20th.
I'm about to say we was going back in time to vote.
For the spring, with my apologies. And to make it to the April primary, which would be the last 2 candidates who got the most votes from the February spring election, that is April 2nd, 2024.
So this shit is coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. We're down to less than 90 plus days for the spring. And you can start gathering signatures next month. So I'm going to really be out in the trenches. I'm already in the trenches now. I'm knocking on doors. I don't stop by the firehouses, the police districts, just to introduce myself. I'm knocking on the door, going back to the old way and having the conversations. I don't just want people to vote for me if you don't know me. I want you to get a piece of me before you make your final decision. Don't just alienate me out because I'm a new face and I'm thinking outside the box and I'm not the traditional norm.
Right.
But just hear what I'm offering. And what I'm offering is a plan that I'm going to need the help of my constituents to execute. It ain't just me. It's not an I in team, but it's a us. We the shareholders. I'll be the one that's overseeing the district, and that's why y'all hold me responsible, because I'm the one that's making sure that things supposed to get done, because y'all voted me in. Y'all giving me the responsibility, like, hey, yo, you representing us, make sure that you handle your business. That's all. And we ain't been doing that for a very long time. We got complacent as a city and as a people. We all to fault for it. I'm at fault for it because I voted a few times based off of familiarity, and I always looked at it like, oh, that's the lesser of the two evils. That don't make any sense.
No, because they still evils.
Boy, we heard a lot of that during the presidential election, didn't we?
Yeah.
I voted for him because I ain't like. Nah,
I don't like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Let's vote for the people that really care about what we want and actually going to fight for us. We don't have that anymore. We don't have the people fighting for us anymore, or being able to position themselves. And if we are, we're not tuning in to them.
Right.
Let's start tuning into the ones that's thinking outside the box.
So, like, is the nightclub, that's the black man's version of the liquor store?
Because they
In
everywhere.
Milwaukee, it seems like
Milwaukee,
the
because
bar,
it's
Good
everywhere.
the bar, the nightclub,
It's
is that the black man?
oversaturated.
Because they won't let us get a liquor store, so is that the black man's version of the liquor store?
It's
I
like,
guess?
why do we have to be subjugated to nightlife? Only?
Exactly,
Right.
nightlife only.
You do a lot
We
of
can't
business.
service
I
the
voted for
community
Ye
no
too.
other hours of the day, but from what, 9 to 2 a.m. and it's serving alcohol.
And that's when you talk to your local leaders. It's the power of the voice goes a long way. That voice, and anytime any other race have an issue with something, they don't have any problem putting it to pen.
They're giving out club and bar licenses like
Left
candy
and
right.
That's crazy. You
trick
couldn't
or
even, I
treat,
remember
get
when
it.
you couldn't even
couldn't
get one
it.
like that.
No, they just letting it rip.
Saturating the market.
Yep, I was gonna say
facts.
it's saturated now.
That they at least doing something like, well, we are allowing you to. We did let you open up 10 new clubs this week.
Yeah. Great.
Had zero benefit.
Yeah,
Because
nothing.
I was about to say, because my thing
nothing.
is like, it's so many other businesses that's looking for brick and mortars that can be beneficial to our community. But it's like, if you ain't telling them you about to sell liquor and have twerk music going, they don't hear it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's very hard. Or a big,
Man.
Yeah.
You ain't a big developer, don't live in a state.
Man, look at my district.
You don't get nothing.
Look at my district. It's a ninth.
Where's that at?
That's
Brown Deer.
Bar 107.
Yeah.
Mr. B's.
Mr. B's.
Social.
Prime
And it's crazy
Social,
because that's like the only thing that they
Kiss,
putting out there. It's
or whatever Kiss is
it's
called.
deserted out there.
Yeah.
Opposed to nightclubs.
Churches and
you
nightclubs.
either got
It's a
churches,
church and
nightclubs, car
nightclub
dealerships.
Yep.
That's
Know
it.
They can actually turn that land into a valuable resource. That is millions of.
It's supposed to be something out there. A lady, one of my Facebook friends,
They putting some stuff
they
out,
built-
but it's like,
and it's like a Granville
it's years to
something.
come.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a storage space.
Should've been able to
They
put this
finna
years
turn
ago.
Northridge into a storage unit. Basically.
And I've been seeing that online. A lot of people been saying like we sick of all the storage
auditor of the
spaces.
district is denying it because they didn't agree to their original plan, which I agree with that. If you saying you're gonna do something,
So he denying the storage thing?
yeah,
Okay.
It really,
We don't
if
need
you
that
really
many.
think about it as storage, though, it's not a really added benefit.
No, at
Right.
all. It
It's
does
just taking
nothing.
up
Yeah.
I don't.
valuable land that could be utilized to open up other businesses for people who are actually looking for brick and mortar.
I don't
I feel
understand
like we should
why.
have more than one Sherman Phoenix.
I just don't understand why Northridge should be an
Listen,
outlet
Ashley,
mall.
this is one of the things that
Private owned company, so United States is big on you owning something and you privately can do whatever you want with it. So the people that owns it, because it's
some
private
Asians.
held,
Some Asians too.
they didn't have to do nothing with
Yeah.
it, but allow the direction that it went.
Yeah.
And why you think they still going through the court to fight
Mhm.
it? Because they legally, when you legally own a piece of land, it is hard as hell to take it from you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they own that land, they own the building, they own all of everything on there.
Do you understand how much business it would generate if that Northridge lot was an outlet mall?
Mm-hmm.
If it's the biggest it becomes the biggest outlet mall in the state. That thing is gonna pop
it
every
does what
day.
Johnson's Creek does for
Right.
them, and it does what Pleasant Prairie does for Kenosha and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, it definitely does that. If you let that be an outlet,
Bro,
mall.
I've been in San Antonio. San Antonio got like 6 outlet malls, and they all like the size of Northridge.
Yeah, a lot of places. You know, look at Gurney Mills. That's considered an outlet mall. You know what I mean? Philadelphia got Franklin Mills. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
places, thought processes downtown that's willing to look at it and do it that
but
way.
To Ashley's point, right? When Ashley said we should have more than one in Sherman Phoenix, rest in peace, Seville. Because if it wasn't for Seville, we wouldn't have had Sherman Phoenix. He had to die. And them kids had to burn that neighborhood up for him to get a Sherman Phoenix. Yeah. So that's why when Don be like, hey man, set that shit on fire. I don't give a fuck. I be subscribing to Don with that.
I be subscribing them too.
That's the only time I seen results around this.
Or because most of the time we don't own the land, like Stacy said. So it's like we don't really have ownership in it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling y'all to go burn shit up. No. But when that stuff happens, I don't be one of them people that be like, don't do that, girl.
But I'm saying to your point, you brought up a very valid point. We wouldn't have had Sherman Phoenix if that brother don't die and them kids burn that neighborhood to the ground. We don't get a Sherman Phoenix.
Yep.
Look at what had to be sacrificed for them black business owners to get something like that in their neighborhood, to benefit the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's all kind of resources in that building. It's badly advertised. Shit, we were there. It's poorly advertised.
It's so many people every day that say they don't know what's there.
And I don't know what's in it or none of that type of shit.
But and it goes to a lot of things too.
For them to say, "Hey, we gave y'all that."
Yeah, that's what it's there for.
We gave y'all that. We gave y'all that. And but that's what they do.
Part of propaganda and part of their campaign.
Facts.
It's like I really want everybody to just sit back when you start seeing those flyers, when you start seeing them coming, knocking on your door. If you know they've been your alderman for the last 15 years and you ain't seen them in 12 of those years.
Somebody said it in the comments. He was like, you only see him at a certain time.
Election time.
You only see him. That's it.
Because they forgot about being in the trenches part. You're supposed to be downtown to do your part.
Like if you just look at the cause and effect, like I just be wishing I could who is that who do the court? Is that Kaya? Who does the court where they be like, you in contempt and I'm bringing your ass to court. I wish I could do that with the city because rest in peace another brother, Don Trey Hamilton.
Yeah.
As a result of them closing the mental health complex, he's sleeping on a bench downtown and gets harassed by a cop, gets up, gets on the cop's ass, and the cop kills him. If you don't close the mental health complex, he's not sleeping on a bench in front of Starbucks coffee downtown. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. But you see the cause and effect here? Like, people have to die at the decisions that motherfuckers is making. And you right, we just go to the ballot and check anybody's fucking name.
I ain't gonna even hold y'all. I see most of my aldermen in the entertainment spots
anywhere.
Brownstone.
Yeah.
I see him at Brownstone. We had him at Lux, and it probably wasn't even on no political stuff. It started off the first 15 minutes. Yeah. That's what they put down so they can probably write off whatever they spent that day.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes, it was political, and then it was a whole party. Or you only see them come out to something it looks good to say you're a part of. It looks good to say we supported.
Well, that's what Stacy said.
Hip Hop Week. It looks good now. It's
Photo
good.
ops.
To say that,
but when we got housing crisis, like I literally shout out to Robin because she's in the property management field and this is her thing. Yeah. So this is her thing. But when I have issues, I go to her, and she like educate me because I'm like, we have a huge housing crisis in our city. Mm-hmm. Besides the fact that people don't have money.
Because I'm a real estate broker, I see these numbers regularly. We got a 3-month supply. And for a stable market, you're supposed to at least have a half a year of housing available. We have less than 3 months. That is very extremely tight inventory level. So when you have a tight market in the supply and demand, just like in any game, whether it's the legal game or illegal game, the price is going to go up. And those who can afford it, they're going to win. And those who can't, is going to suffer the most.
And then now the renters, we just suffering because now we just get whatever we got to get given to us. And then my thing is the practices of a lot of these landlords. A lot of us are in traps because Soon as you don't do whatever they want you to do, you get eviction.
Yeah,
we already
facts.
know we got a long list of slum lords, and it seems like there's
Man.
nothing that can't be done.
It's
So
just
now
like
you got
I'm saying-
renters in a rat race, and now their names getting burned up. It could legally not be doing anything wrong. It's just that they don't have the information.
It's just like
they
what
don't
I
know
was
how to
saying.
fight and combat them. I fight with my landlord every day and go month. As soon as they drop something down, and I'm looking up, they want to send me statutes. I'm sending them statutes too.
Yeah.
This is illegal. This is illegal. And every year they send me my renewal like, you want to come back? I bet you want me to come
But
back.
there's nobody, just like I'm saying about the politicians downtown, there's nobody to hold these people feet to the fire.
None.
You see what I'm saying?
It's simple stuff. It's simple stuff people don't know in real estate is illegal. Charging you to fill out an application is illegal.
But they all do it, though.
But they all do it.
They all do it. There ain't one place you going to try
It
to
ain't none.
move in.
That's a
that
lot of
don't
they
got the
hustle now.
$35
They don't even intend on
application
renting it
fee.
out.
I'm the only one that don't charge. I don't charge a fee because I only show my units to approved tenants. And the reason why
I always thought that was a great practice.
Yeah,
don't make me go through the extra and then
short.
Yeah.
And now you just wasted $25.
Yeah, that this person probably don't got.
Yeah.
$5, yeah.
Now you got to go to another person for $25.
Yeah.
But there's so many people
You
they
spend
do.
$400 just looking at houses.
Just
Exactly.
looking at houses.
Exactly.
To me, that ain't fair.
Knowing they wasn't gonna never rent to you anyways.
Right.
Facts.
I knew you wasn't going to pass, so I'd rather I'll be upfront with you, like, hey, the reason why I don't charge an application fee is because I'm gonna show you the unit once you're approved. But if you're not approved, I have no reason to.
Yeah, they even
Yeah, they charge you. They're charging you an application fee so that they can run. They can pay for programs to run your
that,
name.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what they charge you. That's why they charge.
Software.
For the software.
Management software.
The property management software, the background check,
the criminal background check,
all of that stuff.
You know they get a discount. So
I was about to say
Yeah.
$25, but they only paying like $7.95 for them to run.
Yes,
Right.
that's what I was about to say. It don't even be that much.
Finesse
Like some of
fast.
the same programs they use in other markets when you get a Planned Parenthood.
You know,
It's markup.
Yeah, markup.
And so most of them don't even have an intent on renting. A lot of it's a lot of landlords that just take applications.
Yeah.
Because if you think if I got a nice, decent property, I got it marketed well, and I'm charging you $50 an application fee, and I'm getting 10 applications a day, I ain't gotta rent the shit out.
That's $500 right there.
$500.
That's $5 a day in 30 days.
applications.
Catch with that, it's our responsibility as a city to give the available resources to even position yourselves to become a homeowner. Because one of the 4 key methods that they use to determine how they generate their revenue, I wrote it down because I found it very fascinating because they not being accountable with it. So MKE economic development, there are 4 key development approaches that they're supposed to use. One is direct finance and assistance from small business organization, the SBA loan and whatnot. That is supposed to be used to give funding to small business people like us, those who are entrepreneurs. That's a way of them being able to generate a revenue, because as a constituent and as a citizen, you should be able to have the available necessary resources you need to fund anything you're doing, as long as you're in position. But to get you to that position, that's why I'm saying so heavy about the financial literacy part.
Yeah.
If we teaching that and starting it in school, it allows for them to take it with them as they older to analyze it better and execute it better. When we got out of high school, boom, we got right into the world. Here's a credit card. You get this money. You're not knowing that, hey, if I don't pay this back, you're going to charge me an interest rate that I have to pay on top of what I borrowed from you. And if I don't pay you that off every month or have it paid off completely, you're going to continue to charge me until I get farther and farther in debt, or you're going to keep increasing my limit. But no one has ever told me, hey, you know, that money you use and you have to give it back with an interest. So if we teaching that in the schools, it allow for more kids to be more productive.
Yeah.
Everybody don't want to go to college, but if they understanding the basics other than just the basic math, the basic science, because if we go to other countries, man, they way far ahead of us because they teaching their kids way more than what they need to be sustaining in this world. We teaching a bare minimum. We taking out they even took out a cursive in school.
Yeah, facts.
Half these kids,
Facts.
you ask them, hey, what that say? If you
Yeah.
wrote your name in cursive, they wouldn't have no clue what it is. It looked like, I don't know what does that.
Man, they
What is
trying to
that?
convince us the dollar sign goes behind the number, and I'm holding on to that it don't, because what it does is we're dumbing down the world,
Yeah.
you know, and just let it go. And it's like, no, we have to hold something because our kids are gonna.
Right.
It's not necessarily for us now.
Right.
It's our kids.
Absolutely.
Rynell Jenkins is saying that in Texas the application fee is $75 and it's $150 administration fee. I would check the laws in Texas, but I'm pretty sure it's illegal to charge an application fee everywhere. But they're doing it because you don't know.
Yeah, because you don't know. Motherfucker get away with
But
anything.
then it's like, what do you do if we know it now? What do I do? So do I tell you I'm not paying it? They just not gonna
exactly.
It's the follow through. Yeah,
but you can
know
sue.
what I'm saying?
I mean, if you want to be that guy, you can sue him. Like you because now you've discriminated against me because I wouldn't pay you a fee. You shouldn't be charging me
anyway.
So you're discriminating me. You're discriminating against me, I should say. I'm sorry. I worked the other side of real estate, right? So I worked in property management, and I know a lot of dirty stuff that property management people do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not legal.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Like, even if you just look at somebody like Barada, wherever you pronounce dude's name, with the rocks in front of all his properties, he was able to set up a monopoly here because he knew people couldn't get nowhere to live. So what he did was he was like, I'll take you on if you got an eviction. Well, like actually, Ashley said,
not even just that, the city, he's also using funding
for
as well, because they believe that he are making corrections to the areas that he's moving in.
So what I'm saying,
painting them doors red and putting rocks up there and cutting the grass.
So what I'm saying is to Ashley's point, if everybody got an eviction on their record, where else can you live?
Right.
But in buddy shit. You see what I'm saying? So like,
and now you feel trapped because now a lot of people move to
on the strip that he got a tax cut. He bought it on the tax cut anyway.
I
want you to understand, they not using just their own.
No, I know.
They're
not.
Know that. Barada hasn't used any of his own money and probably in 20 years.
Tax credit, and so when you take in people that moves like him, they give him praise. You get some people that give him praise, like, man, he a cold businessman. That ain't business.
Right.
No,
that ain't business.
It's exploitation.
And we get people that look like us that be like, man, you gotta understand, he's still cold.
No, he's not.
There is why where we at.
Man, listen. He said he catching like COVID out here. But he's that there are several there are several property owners in Milwaukee who have a ridiculous amount of properties.
Facts.
Yes.
So many properties that they can't even manage them.
Facts.
Yeah.
And can't even a property management company can't take on their account because they own so many properties. The guy who owns all the properties in the Brownsville area. That's a white guy. I forget his name right now. Like I had him in the office.
Is that Dak?
No, it's not Dak. He's a private. He's a private. He's a private owner. He owns
Smart Access. All the motherfuckers.
He owns 120 properties in the in the Brownsville area. And can't manage them all.
Is that ain't cats? Is it?
No,
Okay.
no.
I know what units you're talking about, because the properties down there is terrible.
Yeah.
Standing water in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, most of those
are also gentrifying the area because of the fact, if you go on MLS,
that's why
most of those are his. But he don't want to sell none of them. Yeah, he's holding.
Do you know what that shit about to be like in a minute?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How much they get him for?
Yeah,
200,000 plus.
Yeah,
300,000, 400,000 ain't paying because it's in the vicinity of them developing the
downtown area.
Right.
Yeah.
But they leave the rest of the districts like ours. They push they keep y'all stay out there.
Prior to Barada becoming the linchpin, the kingpin, it was Muhammad.
Yeah.
But they bust Muhammad down.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because he a nigga.
Because he a nigga.
Yeah.
So they bust him down, but they let Barada keep all the shit.
Facts.
And it's crazy. It's crazy, like working that side of the business and knowing. First of all, let me tell you. Let me say something on a property management level, right? When you own a bunch of properties, get property management. Stop handling your own shit, because you're only paying a property management company 6 to 8% of your rent. Like the peace of mind that you get from a company handling your account instead of you handling your account, and all you got to do is pay for whatever they're doing. Like it makes so much more sense. If I had 2 houses, I'm going to get a property management company. I don't want to deal with nothing. First of all, I don't want to have to look at a tenant and tell them no. I can't do it.
I don't know.
They don't even look at you. They send you.
I think I manage it well with the 60 that I got under my belt.
I like private. I like
60
private.
units?
60, 120 altogether, but 60 properties.
You have 60 properties? That's a lot of properties, bro.
Damn.
But it's the same software that you use, the same software they use, and the same software I'm using. You know,
yeah, but I'm talking about the manpower. I'm talking about the manpower.
I got the contractors, and I do have assistants to handle like the rent collections and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what he's.
You just built your own property management company, basically, to manage your portfolio. But I'm saying
they manage the portfolio. I don't do the property management myself. Yeah, no.
So do you buy and hold a lot in real estate, or you? I mean, obviously you got 60. You got 60 properties.
It depends on what it is. If it's a property that's worth keeping, me and the partners hold on to them. If it's the ones I try to keep them from the slumlords. I got a real knack for how they like coming in our neighborhoods,
man,
buying up the houses. They don't want to fix nothing. But then too, because I'm on the landlord side, when I say the landlord side, I mean me as a landlord. You do have some tenants where they don't properly report stuff to you, or if you're going through the eviction phase with them, they want to call the city. They got like this habit of where they'll call Department of Neighborhood Services to report an issue that they never reported to you, thinking that it saved them from going to eviction court. But why I say that method is used is because of the conversations they have with friends. Well, I went to court for this. To avoid that, we need us to teach them, hey, that's not the method of doing it. If he's a real life slumlord, go this route.
Yeah.
But if you're using that method because you ain't paid your rent, it's not going to stop the eviction process. He's going to remedy the situation and move on. And you're still going to have that eviction on your name. And now you're going to look like you're being a petty tenant. That's just going to irritate them even more.
That's because a lot of people don't even understand. Okay, you can do that. You can call. You file a complaint. And by the time we get to court, I'm going to have it fixed. And so now, in court, they just go, oh, it's fixed? Oh, okay, well, you owe this.
Oh, that's how they generate revenue as well. Off of
the
DNS. Because they got protocols they're supposed to follow too. But one of their ways of collecting revenue, more money from us constituents, and fine, giving you fees. Oh, tuck point. The tuck point is literally just probably a little crack in the wood, but they'll fine you for that. And even though it may not have nothing to do with a foundational issue, you can have a foundation inspection done, and they'll tell you, that tuck point don't mean nothing. That's just another way of them raping us for money.
Yeah.
Because they stagnant. They ain't got no other way of getting money. So they use the property taxes. They use the service charges, meaning our street lighting. For 2023, they're going to have $9.6 million in street lighting revenue. Charges for services for 2023 is going to be $48.6 million. And that includes, that's the fees for the extra carts when you got an extra garbage can. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
$24.4 million for just them to clean up the sewer. Come clean up your shit. But yet they got lead piping, all this old ass lead piping in our city. But yet all this revenue y'all generating from it, y'all not doing anything to really give it.
How much is allocated to fixing the goddamn streets?
Oh, well, this year
billions.
This year they were in the budget They increased it by, I think it was 3%.
I just want to be an alien at this point because humans make life hard. Because my thing is like, even if we don't stay here, it's the same get up everywhere. Like,
yeah,
No,
life just be life, and just hear this stuff. It makes you, because once you really think about it and you know that you're actually living this stuff and you're in it, it's like you feel like you in the circle. So I see why some people feel like, man, they zone out because it's a cycle. And then when you feel like you don't have the resources, and I think that's my biggest thing is like people like to allocate a lot of stuff as just laziness. And it's like, no, there's actually a lack of resources, a lack of education. And if I truly don't know, or I don't know where to go, or I don't have enough fight in me to keep fighting this stuff, I just barely got enough oomph to go to work, put food on the table, and make sure we sleeping at night. Like, that's what really gets me, and that's where I really appreciate people that fight.
That's how they
more.
hide a lot of stuff. That's because you too tired.
They exhaust you.
Yeah.
They exhaust you with the stuff to where you just you settle and you tap out.
Sonny said they waiting on Jesus to come back and fix the streets. But they got them baseline stoppers up
them
quick.
Blocks.
Didn't they get them up quick?
Cheaper solution when it comes to the budget constraints that they have. They figured whoever idea that was to sit down, they call it the common streets. So they putting up those pillars like that to deter the reckless driving, but also it's supposed to be designed to calm people down as they driving, meaning all that reckless driving, if you forming everybody into like a spear into one stringent line, it slows everything down. But all you're going to do is cause more friction.
Yeah.
More people getting upset.
Yeah. I'm going to say we more mad.
Time. And ever since they put out those little stopper thing, whatever they want to call those things, all I see people doing is trying to hurry up and get past you to get through there.
To get through there.
Oh, Scalez. But where we at on the east side?
We gonna tear our stuff up in the snow.
We was on the east side and they had grass on them.
Yeah,
and damn near couldn't tell.
You couldn't even tell, bro.
So just imagine the snow. If you're not really familiar with that street that
you're gonna smack something.
I'm gonna smack something. I'm not gonna lie. Ashley gonna do it. I'm gonna go right into the snowbank and be like, oh, one of them cement things under there.
It's gonna be crazy once the snow fall, and then $10.7 million for snow and ice removal this year. So
well, they should have started last night.
Why they ain't start last night?
They ain't start yesterday when this shit fell out the sky and people was crashed on the highway and then drive it. Man,
it was the day before.
Crazy. So
we live in Wisconsin.
34% of our taxes makes up our revenue, and 17% charges for services, meaning our sewer, all of that
garbage.
That's 17%. And so if you add those two together, that's 54% that we, the people, is paying for to finance this budget, hold all they costs, the whole nine. That's a lot. That's a lot of hand we got in the pot.
Facts.
And we ain't getting this much on our return on investment.
Right.
I am a stickler for that. If our city is a business, no matter how we look at it, and we are the shareholders, and they're not giving us our return on investment like they supposed to. It's been too stagnant. It's not enough fight. It's too much complacent. And when people are complacent because they don't no longer have to worry about their jobs, a lot of them knowing that ain't nobody running against them.
That's why I said nobody holding their foot to the feet
like,
to the fire.
Well, I ain't got to do too much. I've been in this for 20 plus years.
Shit, I'm good.
I've been doing this and doing that.
I've been collecting free money and taking pictures.
You know, start holding us accountable. When I get down there, I expect y'all gonna see me in the trenches. Y'all gonna see me a lot. I tell everybody that. Look, you're gonna see me a lot. Probably get tired of me, but it's because I care. I want to make sure that I'm doing what I said I was going to do, and I'm being held accountable. But I can't do it without not having everybody involved.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way possible. I ain't saying for every decision and every movement, day-to-day operation, but the ones that are directly affecting us, we definitely should have input on it and put it in layman's terms to where people can understand.
Facts.
That annual report for our budget was 189 pages for one and 289 for another. There's no way anybody going to sit through all of that.
Yeah.
put it in layman's terms to where people can understand. A lot of people don't know how to read an annual budget or profit and loss. Let them know how we're doing, but don't wait until a year later or 6 months or you following the regulation or the regulatory time you're supposed to report. No, have those monthly meetings. And I ain't talking about no town hall for a photo op moment either. If you're going to have a town hall, let them know what your district doing.
Yeah, let the people
Present
come talk their
numbers.
shit. Yeah.
Numbers rule it all.
Facts. Man, shit, I don't know, man. I wish you luck, brother. You know what I mean? On this journey that you about to go on. You about to get into some murky, dirty shit. You know what I'm saying? So I wish you the best.
They said you know your shit,
yeah,
Stacy.
no, he do. No, he do.
Stacy is a numbers guy. He will tell you that the data. If you don't follow the data, it's just the data. Like that's his thing. So if it's numbers, he know the numbers, and he just don't know the numbers to quote them. He know how it applies to our everyday life.
Yeah, because
and what we should be looking for.
I tell everybody, man, I real life have a testimony, and I ain't talking about a church testimony. I mean a real life testimony. Like, I am blessed to be able to sit here amongst y'all. I'm blessed to have my freedom. I'm blessed to have my life. The things I seen growing up and the things that I've been through. Most people wouldn't be like, man, you walk around smiling and happy. Yeah, you got to. You have to, because I put in the time and the effort to get here. It wasn't an easy journey. It was a lot of sleepless nights, you know. I'm thankful for the queen, for my wife, because, man, it was many a time I'm like, no, forget this. It's too much.
Yeah.
But she was always that motivation, like, hey, you got this, you know, you led us this far. And, man, all I just ask is my people to let me lead through this way, with y'all support and y'all help. I ain't trying to lead by myself. I want to move as a unit. We got to get back to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like I say all the time, we need the people's party, man. You know what I mean? We need, you know, a party for the people, a political party for the people. You know what I mean? I don't, because I always
don't say that in front of no folks.
You know,
they gonna be mad.
I mean, for the folks, them too, then shit. I mean, it's all included. It takes me back to what Fred Hampton was trying to do in Chicago, and it was a political party for the people. That was what his thing was. You know what I mean? And that included poor Hispanics, poor white people, the vice lords, the folks, the GD, whoever. It didn't matter. If you lived underneath this poverty line, you could be a part of this party. Or if you believed in helping the people who live below this poverty line, and you could be a part of this party too.
Right.
So I just think we need that, and like to even, like I said, to take the color off of it. That's why I said a party for the people, because you know what I mean? I don't want it to just be like, oh, vote for Stacy because he black. No, vote for Stacy because he right.
You know vote for Stacy because he want to do the job.
Yeah,
I'm for every race, black, white, Hispanic. Exactly. Because it's we don't make up a color as a people. You know.
That's my boy Lil Head. Let's go, Smiter 2024. That's great.
L Dog.
Appreciate that, L Dog.
So yeah, man, y'all be on the lookout for this brother, man. Make sure y'all tap in with him. Let them know where they can tap in with you at.
My website is www.smiter, SMITER, for alderman.com. And or you can find me on my social medias as well, my first and last name, and also Mr. Alderman, Smiter for alderman.com on Instagram as well.
Okay, for sure. I wanted to ask y'all about the Pastor Locke picture.
The one where he's sitting outside the
thirst trap.
It wasn't a thirst trap.
Internet go crazy.
It's a headshot. Like it's a professional picture. I'm looking at it like, why are they saying they see stuff?
That shot with the checker pants and
the yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's why I was confused. And maybe because
it's literally,
I didn't see.
Yeah,
no, and I'm telling y'all from a woman, and I wasn't trying to be that because I seen the picture when it was posted before the raid, the Rant and the Raven. So then I went back like, let me see what they talking about. Then I went back like, I think at this point it's just anything said about him or the organization, the heathens is just gonna use it as a joke because he literally had on a black like collared shirt and some slacks, sitting down.
Isis said that was not a thirst trap. He just fine.
He's his normal self.
Sonny,
actually, none of his
said
pictures.
hoes gonna be hoes.
I'm with Sonny because if y'all look at it, And I know. So
I mean, he got the anointed. That's probably what
he
they
don't
probably
do
seeing. They probably see,
anything.
you know, because I like what he offered from his perspective when he's preaching, because the man speaking how you should. You bring a knowledge, wisdom, and that understanding. The way he talking about it, he's interpreting everyday life, and so there's just that glow, the glow from God. You know, God said the chosen.
I like the fact that the nigga owned the building. When I found out the nigga owned the building,
that's the dopest part of it.
That's what I got intrigued by. I'm like, okay, dope nigga.
He a good looking brother, but
pause.
They gotta relax, bro. They gotta relax.
I think it's one of those things that was trending and was popular now. Everybody latch on now to have a conversation piece and to have clout. It's just that's the target now. You gotta think all of the big churches went through it, but then anybody it's riding the wave. Cause he literally just was sitting down and have a professional picture.
I just thought
I see some wild comments.
Crazy, bro.
They were wild.
They were. You know what?
The comments was OC because it's like, yo, he is a pastor. No matter how you want to do it, at least give him that respect as a pastor.
Facts. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I'm like, I might see a lady of the cloth that's attractive, but I ain't finna do all
I'm not finna do all that.
They was going beyond the.
He can bless me and all this type of shit and all this type of shit.
Right. But you know, it's crazy because a lot of them actually show up
speaking in tongues and all this.
That shit is wild, bro. Like, that's still a pastor.
So could y'all imagine if people was actually sending him stuff though?
Man, I bet you they was.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. Like, the man wore a full cloak.
He did.
Sunday.
Yeah, the man covered up
from neck to feet.
Like, y'all gonna relax.
They probably made him uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Because he was just posting a picture, bro. Like, the man was smiling ear to ear. There was nothing sexual about the picture at all.
But that's the reason I called it. But that's the reason I called it a thirst trap picture, is because when women do that and men respond that way, that's what they say. Oh, it was a thirst trap picture. So we're gonna keep it the same on both ways.
I don't think his intentions was that.
No. I'm not saying his intentions. I'm not saying his intentions was that.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. That's a thirst trap.
You know he gonna.
But if you
human male that like women gonna be like.
If a regular woman in her head shot in a black sweater and a skirt just sitting down taking. I don't think that a thirst trap is when you half-ass naked.
Yeah.
And try, I'm picking up my shirt.
They acted like it was a thirst trap picture. They acted like he was naked.
I don't see how.
They acted like he was naked.
The man is fully, you barely seen he had an elbow out.
Maybe it was the angle of the sunlight or something. I don't know, because
I seen comments talking about his print.
Yeah, and I'm like, how can you see it?
I'm like, how can you see it?
That's how you know it's a force, because that's what made me go back. Because I'm like, he's sitting down. Yeah. If more than anything, it's the gathering of his material of his pants. Like, let's be smart. Let's not be
the man
extra.
Wouldn't even took no picture with his print showing.
Right.
Like, why would he do that?
As if he ain't a pastor.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, y'all gotta know that. Y'all gotta know that he probably went through his pictures before, the edit. He probably has a team, an extra set of eyes. I'm pretty sure he has a team. He also has a shit ton of sisters. So I'm knowing he probably hit April and them like, check this out before it does this. Cause
this cool, sis. This cool.
Is this?
Right.
Is it the fact that he's recently divorced too?
Yeah,
that's what it is. Cause my thing is, he the same dude from before then. He doesn't look any different. It's nothing. He didn't go get surgery or anything. Yeah. It's the fact that now he's
divorced.
In his known.
The availability.
Yeah.
The available. Yeah. So fresh back on the money.
And he rich.
And he got, if it's saying, don't take out, you got some money. So.
And he's in a leadership position. Women are really attracted.
And he attached them bucks.
He cut Giannis.
He's definitely cool, Sonny. He's super cool.
He seemed like he's a very. I know the whole family. They cool as a fan. Like
I go to the shop on Friday. Now I think about it. I got a 3:00 hair appointment on Friday.
His brother Eric is the
barber,
the piano player.
Oh yeah.
And April and Maria sing too. So they be in R&B live and be performing with me a lot and shit.
And April's doing my hair this Friday since Maria want to relocate and not be here. So I mean,
good people. I just thought that was that was crazy.
Yeah. Mad? You mad, Ashley?
People,
I want them to have that same.
Get back, Maria.
Look, you better take you one of them pictures. Tell the wifey let you take one of them pictures.
X gonna be like, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute.
You know, Xavier not going for that shit.
Xavier gonna be like, wait a minute.
My wife cutting me, Facts.
Facts.
She gonna be like, not too much.
Right.
She gonna crop her head right in the picture, like just in case.
Yeah, just in case y'all thought.
Halloween costumes.
Oh my God.
Was Velma on sale this year?
Velma had to been on sale.
They must have had a discount on Velma Halloween costumes.
It's about 762 Velmas in the city of Milwaukee.
You know what? I think for once they made her like sexy.
No, she's been sexy for the last couple years.
You know what the crazy? You know what the crazy? You know what the crazy part about Velma
Daphne
is?
was always pretty much the eye candy.
No, so
if you
what
think
I'm
about
saying,
it,
this costume isn't new.
No, it's not new.
I've been seeing
it's not new. I think it just was like.
I just think motherfuckers want to be hoes now.
But exactly, and any way they could be a hoe in a Halloween costume is going.
Anyway,
it's Halloween.
Yeah,
it's
well,
Halloween.
It doesn't help that Fashion Nova makes a lot of these, and everything is hoe-ish from Fashion Nova.
But my thing about the Velma costumes is okay. Velma was the nerd. You bitches don't like nerds.
So
stop doing that.
So that's what I'm getting to the point of. Velma on the show is the nerd. Daphne is the pretty, attractive, sexy one. So when they sexualize the costume, that's what makes it fun now because Velma's not the sexy girl from the show.
Being a guy, you know that. Time to time I dabble in porn.
I think that's what really
they've done this cosplay before.
Yeah, we've seen this cosplay before.
Well, y'all have.
Yeah. But I'm saying I've seen it on Halloween too, though, before.
Yeah.
Like,
but it's not as extra.
Not as money as it was this year. I'm like,
no, they really market
sexy red.
Oh my God, it was so many sexy red costumes.
Jeez. Honestly, I don't see how anybody supports.
They're so unoriginal.
Well, she'll be here Thursday. To be
tomorrow, she'll be
tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Pregnant as a motherfucker.
Pregnant tomorrow.
Don't know who the baby daddy is.
Yeah, don't know who the baby daddy is. Like that's cute.
Like, why do we think it's okay to emulate that?
I don't
have a daughter.
I don't understand.
Me having a daughter, I would never teach her like, hey,
for somebody that's in the game, is managing 2 female artists, the sexy red appeal and all of this, I will never understand it. And I'm a student of this game. Like how you study politics and numbers like that, I'm a student of this music shit. Dying to tell you, like, bro, I live, breathe.
Yeah, he encyclopedia.
Yeah, like I've never seen nothing like what she's doing right now. This is the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
Because it's a time where we not really clicking to her musically. It's more of the persona, and then the music make it easy because it's
so dumbed down.
It's so dumbed down.
She's a ghetto cheerleader. But that's what she does on every song. She cheerleads.
A lot of women are feeling how she's feeling.
That they pussy pink and they booty hole is brown.
No, I don't even. No. I don't even think it's that.
Like to me,
it's just another avenue.
As being an artist, like that took no artistic creativity at all.
Well, somebody argued. Luke said worse than that, and it's all fine. Luke said a lot of stuff like that.
Luke
niggas,
was on beat.
Time out. To Luke's credit, them other 2 niggas that was with Luke could actually rap. Dude with the broken arm and Marquise, them niggas could rap.
Yeah.
I know your occupation. And then them niggas was getting off on that shit. Yeah. Doo-Doo Brown, them niggas, like, Luke was doing hooks. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really get verses from Luke. The verses came from the rappers in 2 Live Crew.
I think they arguing the word and the content. They saying what she's saying is not different.
What I'm saying is artistically, it took no art to say my pussy pink, my booty hole brown. Like you didn't put no.
She was just describing what it, the anatomy of what the body looked like. Some people may not know a booty hole brown.
Oh, they don't know that.
Oh, they didn't know.
They didn't know.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I'm playing devil's
advocate. I'm unimpressed.
You know. I think what it is we're living in a time and we already know what the agenda is. It's pretty much anything goes, whatever. It's crazy because it's almost like a catch-22 because it's like on one end we want whatever to go. Be free. You can be whoever you want to be, however you want to be, to the point of whatever you identify as, that's what you identify as and nobody better stop you. But then in a sense, we live in a world filled of filters and censorship because now we obsessed with filters and stuff.
I don't know
like
if
that.
I'm censoring her, but like the barefoot and pregnant, I'm with Stacy on this. It's just like the.
It's just another avenue to just say do whatever you feel like doing and do it because it's real and authentic and just do it.
It's like no.
Like her baby hairs is bad. Her outfits, like the whole aesthetic is just bad to me. And I don't know if I'm overthinking it because I'm marketing 2 female artists right now, but like it's just not appealing to me. I'm a man. Like I think I tell Maya and Destiny, like men want to fuck you. Men have to want to fuck you and women have to want to be you. Mm-hmm. Like that's the final goal, to know that we made it where we are.
But now we see that there's a lot of People that want to. It's a lot of people that live their life, and we know it is because it's not too many far from when we in establishments. On Monday night, I seen a lot of sexy red.
Well,
and it wasn't even the costumes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying
You
it's
know what
not.
I'm saying?
I'm not saying it's an audience for it. What I'm saying is, should that really be accepted? Like, should we really be like dumbing ourselves down to a point where we think that's okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no other girl that entertains me in hip hop that does the antics that she does. I like Meg, I like Cardi, I like
think
Lotto,
they all do
I like
to a certain
Nicki.
extent.
I've never seen
not
Glorilla.
like
I've kicked
her.
it with Glorilla at the club twice. She ain't never took her shoes off. She been in Mr. B smoking weed with me twice. She ain't took her shoes off yet, and she country as a motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. Like, this chick is literally doing shit because she don't got no talent.
Right.
That's kind of the point that I'm getting to here. Like, she knows she has no talent, so it's all about antics.
Yeah,
Literally, like, I don't got no shoes on. My pussy stink because I've been touring all day.
Yeah.
Like, shit like that.
That was
like,
great. That was
Like
wild.
that type of
Y'all
shit,
is
Ashley.
teaching me
That was
stuff 'cause I
wild.
don't
That,
see,
like-
I don't put attention to where
I don't
is
really put
on the
attention
police.
to it.
She
So
said,
I don't
"Ooh,
even
my
know.
pussy stank. I've been working."
I've been working. That mean I've been working. I've been on tour, y'all.
What?
I don't listen to her music.
No, I don't listen to her either, but I
That
see
shit is
interviews.
I don't even look at
wild, bro.
the interview.
Because of this platform.
Me neither. I don't.
You know what I mean? I be on top of that type of shit a little
Yeah.
bit, but like that's what I'm saying with her. It's just like the antics. Like I don't know. I don't want to sound like a hater, but I am hating on that shit because I just don't think I don't even think Shorty has to do that. Like, okay, I will take it back about the lyrical content because I'm not a censorship motherfucker. I'm a rapper myself, so I don't believe in censorship.
No, you say what you want to say.
What you want to say. With me and
It's
her,
gotta be
you know,
clever.
not even with the cleverness.
Just
With me
don't
and her,
call everything talent.
yeah, and and with me and her, it's her presentation. Like I just don't.
But you come from an era where that mattered, where the presentation we knew the presentation.
Because look at Krishan, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's what I was about to say. Look at the whole Blueface game, and this whole you got to think all the baddies, everything is blooming now because I think the powers that be know that people still want to connect to authenticity, realness. We do. As much as we know to dress stuff up, people still relate real. That's why being relatable gets you far in a lot of areas. So now they just looked at it as we just gonna use that ratchet train, that country bunkiness, that ignorance, because they know that there's people that still operate in some of them levels. But now it's let's just do it. That's why. And I don't want to compare the Tubi movie stuff, but you got to think about it. That's like the Tubi movie thing that's booming. It looks so almost real, and we know it's real because they shooting it in real neighborhoods where they not in the sound block in Hollywood. They shooting in real. So I think the powers that be know that realness is still something people want to relate to. It's just we gonna profit off of the ignorant part.
But
I think
even with and I agree with you about the Tubi point. That's a valid point that you make right there. But even to combat that point, Tubi came about or even got popularized with the writer's strike.
Yeah.
So we didn't get Sexy Red because there's a writer's strike in
No,
hip-hop.
it's
We
just
got-
but
we
the
got
overall
sexy, we got
concept
Sexy Red.
of
We got Sexy Red, Ashley, and I'm saying this to defend women, and you know how I defend women. So we got Sexy Red because some record executive was sick of the empowerment that was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Where the City Girls
And-
could hold
and
on, the
this
City
is-
Girl sells 5,000 copies, and we know JT raps better than Ski Wee Girl. Her group only sells 5,000 copies, but this girl is selling out arenas.
Yeah.
So that shows you that there's something going on in the game where you got, hold on, Carisha and JT started out as scam artists.
Yeah.
5
But
years later, they're bosses. We don't view either
So-
one of them
so
girls
you're-
as we saw
we're
them when
saying
they
the
first
same-
came
'cause
in.
we're saying the
Carisha
same
got a whole
thing.
media platform that she do,
Yes.
talk show.
I don't
JT
even-
is
Carisha ain't
booming.
gotta rap no more.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
So
Neither
we're
one
saying,
of them really
because we're
do.
saying the same thing. They knew what was going to catch on then. They just
But even the-
capitalized and became better with it. People know what it is. We
Marketing
was
is everything.
the marketing is everything.
You know.
They knew what it was going to take. They know there's that culture
They do
that wants
studies
that.
on
I think it
Yeah,
was.
of course. Market research.
Yeah. That's just like-
So that's what I'm thinking about.
So
The
it's a
woman.
stimulus.
So over the last 5 years, we had this.
Because guess what? This is
women-
our new woman empowerment.
We had this woman
Let us be
empowerment
free.
boom. So as a
Bro, let
as
us
a
be free.
fucked up white record executive, I'm trying to show y'all
Yeah.
how they think. Then you
Mhm.
put a Sexy Red in the game.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because you
'Cause-
got too many Cardis,
got to.
Lottos,
Yeah.
Megs. They're running the industry at this point. It's only like two niggas that got some leverage. Drake and one other motherfucker.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And everything
wanted
else,
to
bro, if
take
you look
all that
Doja
back.
Cat, if you look at everything else, it's females. Coil Ray,
Yeah.
everything else
The
is
girls
female.
is running the world.
So you got to come with this against the grain, motherfucker. You see what I'm saying?
But it's not against, y'all don't be listening to me as a woman because I'm a woman
against
telling
the
y'all
grain.
it's not against the grain. That's just another method. Now the woman empowerment, you had to be the Michelle Obama looking package. That was the only way you had to be a boss in a suit and cute and pretty. It's the personality this is their form of woman empowerment. So every chick that's a Bama, don't judge me because I'm doing that. That's my way. Look at with Ski, come on. The bitches is banding together. Ski, all that. Yeah. That's another form of woman empowerment for some women. Y'all probably don't like it, but it's liberated for women.
I get it.
That's why we said
don't
stop us twerking.
No, I get
it. Don't talk about my hair. Don't talk about I got on shoes on. Don't talk about it because it's liberating for us women to be 100% us women. So they just realized that people still like that ratchet shit. But so it is. Whether it's hoe, you got to think who brought this out.
It's hoe improvement.
Nuh-uh. Like
two-sword. Because if you disagree with it,
she looked like Young Thug.
But if you don't agree
she is hideous, boss.
Yeah.
I don't see the sex appeal.
Y'all got to think about it. Remember when Amber Rose?
I wouldn't do her up.
Remember when Amber Rose started with her slut walk, which actually had
it though.
We got it, but remember it was because hers really had a. They
it's
just
like
turned
what we did to the word nigga. We turned it into a beautiful thing.
So
my
that's
nigga,
what it is.
So a slut, she took it and turned it into a pretty thing.
Yeah,
that's not pretty though.
That's not. It got to be because she's selling out arenas.
Cleaning shorty
y'all about to have her on ground deer.
No. What it is, Ashley, is the consumer is that stupid that I'm telling you, it's no different than Burger King creating the Whopper because McDonald's got the Big Mac. It's the same. It's to say, okay, what's the opposite that we can get you to go for that? Okay, y'all think Cardi and these bossed up bitches or something? We gonna come with the most ratchet bitch,
most ratchet ghetto bitch you've ever seen in your life,
and
y'all gonna eat it up. Yeah, y'all gonna eat it up.
Yes, because any way that says we're free, let us be free and do me. So whether I'm pretty in some heels or
it's the feel of the freedom.
It's the free. It's what you give me. You make me feel liberated.
Bro, to them, us men has been keeping them so bottled up and expecting.
But I just showed y'all. If you look at the numbers, the women have been dominating music for the last 5-6 years. You can't say that's still the case.
Of course, you know they don't want them to dominate, so they're gonna throw a monkey.
That's what my point is. That's what my point is.
She's the monkey wrench.
She was planted.
She's the monkey wrench. Yeah.
So that way, it don't empower them women that want to have that independence.
That's what my point was. She was planning to throw off the shit.
All of the other women in the industry, their music is better.
Yeah, facts.
All of them. Yeah. If you compare her to the person who came out at the same time as her, damn, I can't remember the girl right now. While I want to make the point, Lil Orphan Annie.
Oh, Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
She's trash too.
She's a way better rapper.
They both trash
than Sexy Red.
They both trash better rapper. They're in an era where social media feeds more than anything. So as long as it's gimmicky, they gonna. If y'all think about it, as long as it's gimmicky,
I don't know if Sexy Red should be bigger than her. That's why I said this is purposely being done. No way in hell. If I ask you in a blind taste test to pick one of them, are you picking Sexy Red?
No, I'm not picking neither one.
No, you're not picking Sexy Red.
But that's because I didn't say Sexy Red was pretty.
No, Ice Spice.
No, I ain't never said Ice Spice was pretty.
What did you just say about her?
She just cleaned up better. Ice Spice is trash to me.
She just bubblegum. She just bubblegum. She can rap.
She's planning to. She can't rap to me either. I don't care for neither one of them. Honestly.
You don't like Drew.
Drew who?
Drill. You don't like Drill.
I do. You know I like Drill. I don't like that. But you know I like Drill.
She could rap way better than Sexy Red. Way better. Sexy Red don't even be on beat.
No, she don't. And it's like cheerleader rants. It's not even like rapping. That's what my point is.
It's just trendy. It's trendy chants.
I'm a yell.
It's something I can post to my social media picture.
Like that ski, that's like a call to action.
Yeah.
Hey,
that from the AK.
Hey, Sonny, Jules thinks she can do no wrong too. It ain't just your son. But she nice looking though, so folks get away with shit when they look nice.
Listen, it's no different than
typical light skin. She the typical light skin that everybody like, and it's like
it's the marketing. It's still an agenda overall. That's just no different. I was watching Jason Lee and part of his interview with
Blueface and them.
No. I can't stand Blueface and them, so I can't even stomach a lot of it. Black China. What's her name? She back to her regular. So they was playing the one game he played, and he had a picture of the Kardashian women and stuff. And the question basically was like, that is a picture of baby mamas, but why don't they get the label of baby mamas and
because they rich?
And she said, because they also stick together.
Oh yeah, they do.
People know all you got to do is throw a monkey wrench in our culture, and we're going off the handles. We're going. We literally haven't. Sexy Red is no different than what's the Wild Vicky or whatever the bitch. I mean,
Whoa Vicky.
Whoa Vicky or any other. If we really think about
it, that's to my point. All them people you naming, them industry plants, baby.
But look how those
the bad Bobby, the white girl that cussed out her mama, that was all a plan. You seen her backstory? All of that shit be set up by a marketing company.
But we don't have these debates. But we don't have these. We don't have these debates.
Is organic.
Yeah,
Lakia is organic. Sexy Red is a plant.
But this what it does. We don't have those long-lasting debates and things about those people. We just kind of let them be, let them phase out, whatever it be. We actually get into it about this stuff.
This girl is selling out arenas.
Because she's selling out arenas.
But y'all don't never let me fucking finish my concept. I don't have it no more. Moving right along.
You lost it?
I got it. I just don't feel like voicing it anymore.
No, say it.
It's over. The point is past.
We're sorry.
It's over.
I apologize.
What y'all eating for lunch tomorrow?
I got to work
10 to 5.
I'm just saying, she gets the attention and the conversation this long because she's selling out arenas. If she wasn't making this kind of impact,
but
I wouldn't have shit to say about
it also brings down the conversations because we really have men and women now in our culture where it stumbles into our daily life and our relationship concept because we now bash each other for a nigga or really be like, if you listen to Sexy Red, I ain't talking to you no more. This could be an Ivy League chick that's cooking. Like we're
not gonna go that far.
I ain't going that far. Women got bad musical taste. Period. I ain't gonna start with Sexy Red. Y'all be liking some bullshit regardless. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna start with Sexy Red.
Y'all just said Ice Spice in rap.
I'm the misogynist. I like Ice Spice. He don't like Ice Spice.
I don't like Ice Spice.
I don't like shit about her, Red, none of it.
I just like the way Ice Spice look.
Do I knock what they're doing?
I'm like Drake. I can watch her videos on mute.
That's it.
Do I knock what they got going on? If you use this, like for example, the City Girls, they wasn't really accepted coming in because why is these two women talking about scamming men to get over? But at this point, they have bigger platforms than anything. Carisha could never rap. I don't even want Carisha to rap no more. She can leave that be. I like JT.
Emotion that women was going through each one of those phases. I feel like when they
because we know what women thrive off of emotion. So the powers that be know how to market. That's why we got this whole soft girl era movement when women are naturally soft. But now we didn't let everybody convince us we got to be soft girls now. And it's like, what the fuck were y'all doing? Were y'all changing tires? Are y'all tackling alligators? Because now y'all didn't let them convince y'all. Y'all have to go through this phase to become soft now. People know how to market to their demographic, and they know how to market to women.
I think they
get us something to feel a certain way.
They created that phase because they went through a phase to become masculine.
How are we masculine? If I ain't got no wang between my leg, and y'all still don't never tell us how we masculine.
Y'all behavior be masculine.
How?
Y'all aggression.
How?
I don't think masculinity is just for aggression has to be described as only male related.
Exactly. So you telling me as a woman I can't have passion? I can't show you emotion other than let me cook your dinner or something like that. Like people say that she masculine.
That's not the same thing.
What makes a woman masculine?
If a man got an emotional side,
he a bitch.
Right.
Man,
what makes a woman masculine?
Right.
If
you're not emotional, if you're unemotional, if you feel like you can do what a man does, I can have sex without having no feelings.
That makes you masculine.
Yes, that makes you masculine.
That's just a whore.
Those
that makes you a whore, traits. Whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah, that's just to me. You just
that you just a whore. That doesn't make you masculine. If a woman decides to go sleep around, that makes her masculine.
We have there's a agenda to reverse gender roles.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so when men say you're being masculine, it's because you're feeding into the gender reversal. You're feeding into that. Well, I don't need. I'm a boss ass bitch. Don't need no nigga. That is masculine energy. That's what they're talking about when they say masculine energy.
Maybe that's just fed up energy.
I can't even say that that's masculine energy because men. That means men got to be doing that. They got to be some men do.
I'm just telling you.
That means when men feminine when they say they need a partner.
I'm just telling you what the red pill community considers masculine energy. The red pill community created that. That's what they're talking about. So the whole soft girl.
I gotta and Don know we Don know we debate this a lot, and I agree with some of the points that he making with that, but I also give black women a pass in that because fathers were taken out, because it was forced on. Fathers were taken out of households, so black women in our communities really didn't have a fucking choice but to toughen up and man up, and sometimes they don't know how to show emotions or interact with men because they didn't have a man in their house.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying?
I still refuse to believe that because
so black women in our communities really didn't have a fucking choice.
I don't know. I didn't hear nothing. That's hard to say because I don't even want to talk about it because I'd be talking about it because we're talking to a black woman who has a circle of black women who's raised by a black woman whose grandparents are black women. So the whole narrative, when y'all feed into that narrative of it's rare that you ever really hear a black woman say they don't need. What we're saying is we don't need the bullshit that's attached to y'all feeling like we do need y'all. Because if that's the case, a lot of reproducing wouldn't happen. A lot of households wouldn't be there. We wouldn't have certain families if we absolutely did not need or want each other. What it is we don't want the bare minimum or the bullshit that comes with it, or y'all coming in every day, every night, trying to determine when we masculine, when we feminine, when we masculine, when we feminine. That's not the case.
Stop choosing men who do it. Give y'all the bullshit.
You can't say that. That's a sucky ass saying too, because half the time you can't say what you can't accept if you're being deceived. Let's be for real. A lot of people are just bullshit artists. They're deceivers, men and women alike, boy, girl, black, round, pink, purple. It's not a thing of, no, a lot of shit be bullshit out the gate.
Y'all be accepting the deception because y'all really know. You know, for you start talking to a nigga, you know what he about.
How?
You just think it's not gonna happen to you.
How?
Because that's what women think.
So then y'all complain on the other end when we not fucking with y'all. Now y'all lonely woe is me walking around here. Pick a side. Y'all want us to give y'all a chance or y'all don't want us to give y'all a chance? Y'all don't know what y'all want. That's why I said at the end of the day, men really don't be knowing what y'all want. Cause y'all, and that's another thing.
That's true of a lot of men.
That's true of a lot of men. For being victim. That's just like telling a rape person you knew he was gonna rape you because you wore a skirt. Some people don't know what the fuck.
That's not the same.
You literally just said that y'all know what y'all dealing. No, you don't. Half the time you don't know who you're dealing with.
That women don't be knowing when a man is a player.
If a nigga present himself as not being a player, no, I don't know. I don't know until you play me.
Even if other people is telling you shit about them.
So now we supposed to listen to other people.
I'm just asking how that works.
What dude you got going on?
I was down back then, niggas up now.
Hello? He was on one. Dude, you was on one?
The craziest thing, and this is what baffles me with men, and the reason why I don't really engage with y'all, because y'all really go back and forth.
Was on one? Your phone.
So after 10, so it's a lot of women moving. Sonny says, so you don't know the signs after 10 niggas. So the women that's moving in a space because she's dealt with 10 niggas that show the same traits. Now she's moving in a soft girl era that y'all put the label on. Now y'all fought these women. Y'all literally fought them for now moving from a protective space or moving because they've learned. Now those are the women that y'all bash every damn day. Every day.
I don't know that.
Damn, who you used to sleep with?
No, I don't care about that.
How many
I was a hoe.
Been in you prior to me?
Right, playing that dude.
What you did with me,
that's why I'm always girl power. Stand on these niggas' necks.
I'm cool. I'm
Stand on them. They don't know what they want.
I'm cool with whatever your past was.
They lie in one breath and then they say something else when it feels good. Do what y'all do, women, and move freely, whether it's feminine or masculine. Be who all you can be, because these niggas don't know. If we listen to men,
make sure you cook.
Some of us know exactly what we want.
What I'm saying is, okay, so Ashley, this is what I'm gonna say in defense to the masculine thing, right? I've had a lot of women that I dealt with, like I said, either came from a household where it wasn't really men around, so they had to kind of learn how to let go of the rope a little bit, let a nigga handle some shit.
I had to leave shit up into some of the stuff that's being said, even here today on this platform, I probably wouldn't let the reins go neither. Cause we don't know. Men go back and forth.
What I'm saying is
y'all really in one breath saying.
What I'm saying is
women should do this. Then women should do this.
What I'm
then
saying
women
is
should
if
do
you
that.
really jamming with a nigga, you're gonna allow that to happen. Is what I'm saying about that. For instance, like if you your whole life been changing tires and taking out the garbage, well, I'm here now. Ashley, don't take out the garbage or change tires while I'm around. You understand what I'm saying? If I've been cooking a meal for me and my brothers every day my whole life because my mother ain't been around, and then I come to you and you cook for me every day, that's a benefit to me, baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's a part of our coming together as a collective.
Facts.
Right. I'm letting go of shit that I used to hold on to, and you letting go of shit that you used to hold on to because that's a part of you trusting me.
It's shit you can't do around me.
A lot of relationships, though.
Like when women niggas be like, no, I hate when niggas be on the internet like, oh, that you, it's because of you why your snow ain't being shoveled. You see what I'm saying? Like
that
shit
corny
lame.
Shit.
That's corny. Like,
it's not.
That's corny.
Because I'm definitely gonna pay.
Because if I was sleeping with Shorty, I would shovel her snow. Like, what's shoveling snow, my nigga? Like, that ain't shit, bro.
If we in a position to where we ain't got to do it, lay your ass in the bed so we can spend time together because we probably busy doing a lot of shit.
Somebody else could do it.
So did you call the snow guy to make sure that?
Yeah, that part too.
You get what I'm saying? Like some of the dialogue be so weak, and that's why a lot of men be sitting on red and looking stupid because the women that's really ready. Looking at the clown shit y'all saying, it's like, I don't want to deal with it. So after 10 niggas, yes, certain shit that we hear is already a red flag. We don't want to entertain it. That's why y'all be goofy online, whining and crying and saying women ain't doing. Nah, we see the goofy shit y'all doing. Because y'all go back and forth with your conversations. Y'all on one side of the fence depending on the day of the weather.
And can I chime in too? A woman, because of the fact I got 7 sisters, and plus, you know, I've been with the queen for 11 plus years. We married and everything. A woman would allow you to lead if you lead her the right way. Yeah. You can't be leading her astray or putting her in the mix of your shit and expect for her to let you lead. You sitting here telling her one thing and then your actions just saying the complete opposite. And then we want to try to say, well, you got this masculinity. It's us men, we really have to really start thinking about how we leading them. We leading them crazy as hell. And of course, it's not for everyone going to agree with we're leading them or it's this something that's being created. Shit, have we really thought maybe it was us that got them the way they are? You said it yourself. Shit, I grew up in a house where my pops wasn't around.
Hold on.
Niggas probably walk around and say, I was a hoe. I had my hoe face. So you don't think the hoe tracks that you left trauma with those women? So now she's going to be a little guarded every time. And then the first thing y'all want to say, you got to pick better. No, y'all pick fucking better now. And y'all can barely pick now because the ones that's really worthy to be picked, we ain't letting y'all penetrate. Because of the goofy shit that y'all get up here and say for likes and giggles, but then low key be soft as fuck and hurt on the back end. That men not going to really be they be really butthurt. And the reasons why I know, because when y'all sit at my bar, y'all pouring y'all hearts out. Not no fake shit because I don't know y'all from Adam, but niggas really be butthurt and really be trying to find their way back of how do we get in the good graces of these good women.
Man, listen.
Sonny said every man ain't the same, just like every woman ain't sexy.
Every man ain't the same. And
you just put everybody down in the same boat.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You always put everybody in the same boat. Nobody said y'all all the same, but y'all like to group us, mainly black women, in the same boat, and we're not the same. Y'all legit would go and say y'all don't be cooking, y'all don't do so and so. How the fuck is y'all eating?
But ain't that what I just said though, Ash? I didn't just say that a few minutes ago.
No, you usually sound.
Oh, okay.
You usually
like when I met Xavier,
I try to be fair about this shit,
bro. I let her know that I wasn't the type where I didn't like always eating restaurant food. I knew she couldn't cook, so it wasn't an expectation. But as time and as our relationship developed, we learned by trial and error. She'll cook the food I tried. I probably wouldn't like it. I wouldn't tell her that, but just because she was trying something new that she hasn't done, you have like.
But that's part of what I was just saying to Ashley about the compromising. Though you see what I'm saying? Like that's a part of letting go a little bit. And I know I don't know how many of y'all, all of us done had jobs where you do these breaking ice things, icebreakers in the trust game where you got your back to a motherfucker. We used to do this during basketball, and you fall and hope the person is going to catch you. That's what we have to do in relationships. And because we be so guarded because of past trauma or how you grew up. Every past trauma ain't a relationship, ain't dick or pussy either. It could be mother, father, brother, sister, grandmother. You got trauma from all kind of shit that you came up through, and it can affect how you handle your relationships. But I'm saying at the same time, what we do is, and why I don't want to put the black women too tough shit on black women so hard, because I would be the same way.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
No,
And even me as a man, I'm even guarded to an extent.
So
because of trauma that I've seen.
So can I speak for me?
Or even what I've experienced.
Can I speak for me? Since Ashley wanted to act like I'm pointing the gun at black women, I think all women are like that. All women.
Well, you only talk about black women on this platform.
Because I only love black women. Surprise. I only love black women. So I'm talking to y'all.
But I'm saying to Stacy's point, the masculine energy thing down, if we really want to get into a scientific debate about this shit, it has to have a cause to be.
Of course.
That's not a natural trait that came from God.
Of course.
That was in women.
It was
something. It was a cause and
it's a
effect
learned
that
behavior.
created that.
It's a learned behavior.
By us
Men,
But when
yeah,
we
something
say
that we
oh,
did.
nigga, you saw
So
it and all
that's
this,
real. That's taking accountability for the
right.
situation. That's real.
Thank you guys. Thank you
You know
guys
what I'm
for
saying?
taking accountability.
That's real.
So,
Or sometimes it's just we all just previously discussed when we talked about the state of Milwaukee, all of that, the numbers and the statistics. Sometimes it ain't even a knock towards y'all. It's survival. We're living in a time where we have to survive and do what we have to do to survive. If we sit there and wait for the government to give us passes, or we sit there and wait for somebody, our neighbor, to come do something, we're not. So a lot of times it's not us being masculine because we just want to be the nigga today. We all are collectively in survivor mode. So we all are doing things probably that we wouldn't normally do. Like, it's certain men that probably didn't know to change a tire. Some men my daddy always handled that. My daddy was always resourceful. You know, so
I had to learn just recently how to change the tire. I don't change tires.
Exactly. You didn't have to.
I pay somebody to do
exactly.
that.
So a lot of things, a lot of behaviors,
I know how to do it.
Is because the human race overall is kind of living from a survival mode place. It's not something that's just like, oh, I want to go take out. I don't take out fucking garbage. If my boy's out of town and not there, I'm calling my best friends. Come get my garbage. My nephew, come get my garbage. I'm not touching it. And y'all know where I learned that from? Me and best friends. They be like, Ashley, you stay put up with your nails and stuff like that. Don't touch no trash. So a lot of us don't necessarily just want to be hard every day. And some of the stuff that y'all relate to as being hard as a woman, I don't think it's hard. It's just a natural survival thing. It's just stuff you do every day. We living in a different generation.
Don't walk into every situation automatically thinking he gonna do the same thing you did, or if he do happen to do something in similarity, be like, see, I knew you was.
Yeah, I knew you was like that.
Already had it planned out, and that's what a lot of women do. They already have they failed relationship before they even start. I tell people, you have to start off as friends first. We so quick to jump from one relationship to the next relationship to get over a previous relationship that you ain't even take time to even get to be friends with the person.
But understand, but in that same breath, understand that I didn't come to be your friend.
Why? If that's the case, you might just say,
listen.
You might as well be a John.
No.
You might as well be a
gotta have a letter of friendship.
Y'all gonna let me talk? Can I talk?
Might as well be a trick.
Can I talk?
Nope, you don't be letting me talk.
I always let you talk.
To be the friend.
I didn't come.
The purpose
No.
of a relationship?
Listen. If I came with the intention to date you, I came with the intention of being your man. I didn't come to be your friend.
But there still has to be
There's a difference. There's a difference. Let me finish. God damn.
Level of friendship.
Let me finish. I'm definitely I'm about smacking the table mad right now. Like, let me finish. God
now
damn.
You see how I be feeling.
I'm surrounded by interruptions.
Because we just trying to understand why you don't want to be a friend with your spouse.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
The friendship is supposed to build naturally. But I wasn't standing in the club seeing you across the room. It was like, ooh, I want to be her friend.
No, I didn't mean it.
But you
weren't talking about it in that context.
But that's what I'm talking about.
But you thinking too literal, bro.
Yeah, you thinking he's saying y'all saying the same thing because he said overall there has to be a level of friendship within the relationship. And that's what a lot of times a lot of relationships fail because you really didn't have a genuine friendship, so you don't really like the person.
They were so quick to become a couple that they didn't even take the time.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
Friends, I should be able to talk with me and my wife. We talk about
anything.
I should be able to.
Do y'all know
That's
a
how-
married?
that's how it should be.
Yes.
That's how it should
That's
be.
what I want. But do y'all know a married woman told me that men doesn't want their spouses as friends? She was like, the guy that you probably be with, because I'm big on that. I gotta have a friendship with whoever I'm dating.
Me too.
I can't even really be intimate
Thank
with
you,
you.
Sonny. Friendship is inevitable.
So she was like, do you really feel like you gonna marry your friend in a sense? And it wasn't a particular person. She was just saying overall, I said, I want to have a genuine friendship. Like I start my relationships. Usually I can't be intimate with a guy if we don't have some sort of friendship bond to where I feel so comfortable that I want to. She was like, well, guys don't want to marry their friends because that's just like hanging out with their bros. They don't want that level. And I'm like, what? I don't.
Well, that's to each his own.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it threw me off because I'm like,
I'm not
wanna...
really into that. I like to date motherfuckers and be into motherfuckers that I'm cool with. Tony Neal said that's cap.
I've always wanted to ask that question. That's how I want to be.
That's one of the
because to be honest,
like,
was your wife your best friend before y'all started dating?
No.
Okay.
But she eventually became my
but
best
that was
friend
the point.
over time.
That was the point her married friend was making. Men don't want to. Well, we've been friends. We've been friends. We cool. That I'm gonna marry her.
But
like
no
that's
one
not
starts a relationship off coming in as being friends.
But
They
that
start
that
off
was the
getting to know each other.
that's the point she was making. She was telling Ashley, y'all friends. You dude in the friend zone. Like he don't want to marry you.
So what, they friends with benefits?
He want crack.
No. She was basically saying like any guy that you're a friend with right now, the chances of them being your spouse eventually is unlikely.
It is.
Because y'all already deemed each other as friends. Once a guy stamp you as that's my friend, he's not gonna wanna, and you could be the perfect spouse for him, but she was basically saying like he don't want to marry his friend. Now what he's gonna do is go find a woman he's pursuing as his woman and eventually become friends with.
Yes.
That's what I was saying.
Yes.
In that sense, I wasn't
See,
saying.
and then I'm gonna be single because that's ass backwards.
And that's
I'm
what I
not
was
gonna
saying.
be your woman.
And that's what I was saying. And
I
y'all
gotta
wasn't
make
hearing
sure
me.
I like you
Bring
enough
that
to
friendship
try to be your
element.
woman.
I mean,
That's what I was saying, and y'all wasn't hearing
If
me.
you get married, you saying y'all finna spend life, eternity, all of that.
Of course, I want her to be my best friend.
That gotta be your role.
Of course, I want her to be
You know
my
what I'm
best friend. But we're not starting that way. No way.
No, of course.
See, I'm not starting mine as you as my man. Cause I like
That's
you
what I'm
enough.
saying.
I know I
People
might not
just
like
jump
you enough
right
as a
into the,
person, and
"That's
now
my
make
man,
you my man.
woman."
Oh, he's standing at the bar. He got a nice outfit. Let me start talking to you. I'm trying to automatically make you my spouse. I may not even like you enough, so I'm not gonna even see spousal stuff because I'm gonna be blind by the shit that I can't get to. I gotta be cool or friend and comfortable with you first to start pursuing you.
I don't.
There's not been a guy that I thought looked at like I want to make him my man.
What makes you think the guy you've been friends with for years, who seen you fuck on other niggas and talk to him about other niggas, wants to be your man?
I'm not necessarily. I'm saying I want to pick my. Y'all got to be careful with what y'all say because these hoes will watch this and be like, "Well, Ashley fucking so and so because they're friends." And I heard. Listen, somebody put me and a DJ together before because we was talking about something. So she went to her DJ boyfriend like, "You want to Ashley fuck?" I watched the podcast and she said she messed with DJ. Like, do you know how many DJs is in the city of Milwaukee?
Mines was my friend for 25 years plus. Tony Neal said
Tony
it
Neal,
depends
good,
on different. He said it depends. Different individuals. He agreed with. He said.
Shout out to Tony. That's the type of stuff I like.
So
because I feel like during
how rare that is, Tony, you think that was normal? Or was that rare?
I mean, I'm not gonna front. Even on some younger shit, like Chase's mom was my friend first, bro. We met and we were friends, and then like she dated one dude, and then she talked to me after that. Like I went through the relationship with her.
Y'all was kids.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I still dated her as an adult, though. She was my friend first. The relationship started out platonic, is my point.
Well, we could see probably. So if the mass majority is saying that's rare, then that's probably why the dating pool probably got pee in it. Because we don't try to befriend people or get to know people.
Yeah.
We automatically trying to make them our spouse.
We go together.
Yes.
Or once we fuck, we go together.
No.
I don't
know what marriages. You know what marriages
I
last
had plenty relationships after I busted nuts. That's crazy.
Oh.
No,
arranged marriages last longer than regular marriages.
But that's because a lot of them are tied to their actual family. Most arranged marriages is the beliefs and family values.
And their culture is so strong that
so they believe in their culture so much to where they not even
They
risking
will be
that.
with them for 30 years.
I will compromise. Yep, I will compromise my happiness.
See, I never
for
was
my
into
culture.
judging women about their past because I got a
Right, neither.
past. So that's
Me
fucked
neither.
up for me to do that. That's bogus.
I
Like,
tell people that all the
I
time.
got
Why
a
you worried about
pass.
before you?
Like,
That was
shorty, my
before
shit might
time.
be
I don't
worse
care
than
what was going
yours.
on.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
my whole phase probably was longer and worse
My
than
thing
yours.
with the past is, long as your past don't come and fuck up what we got going
That's
on.
it.
I don't care about. I
You
don't
can
care
mess
about
with
the.
59 women,
Keep it under
but long as
control.
one of them hoes don't come across here when we doing what we got to do, I'm fine.
Listen. I don't care about your past. I don't care what you did with who, whatever. What the fuck, man? I just told her I'm on a podcast.
Tell her to tune in. She think you lying.
That's my. She.
Oh,
Lord
it must
have
be an
mercy.
emergency.
It can't be. She just talking about my son. My son turned 21 today. I think she took him out drinking and
it's a
and she want to show me he drunk. And I'm like, I will call you in a few minutes.
You better hope it's show me he drunk and it's a good thing and not
pass.
Man.
You hear me?
Right.
Take that.
Pass.
No, of course. But my
Shit.
thing is a dude that's been like that's your homie. He didn't see you been through it with every motherfucker dude. You know what I'm saying? He didn't been around. He can't look at you like that after a while.
Who said that he can't though? That's you, bro.
Come on, man.
That's you because if
I've
I've been hoeing around through that whole situation, then how do I got the nerve judging her about what she was doing during that time?
But bro, it's like we get it. That's how you agree with it, but you can't say every.
How often does it happen,
bro? I don't think
how
like
often
that.
does it happen?
Don, I couldn't. Me personally, I couldn't do that.
Y'all exceptions.
But I'm saying that's not even fair though. If you just put it in front of me and you gave me a black and white situation, I will say that nigga's not being fair to that young lady.
Right.
That's not fair, bro. For you to be like, I seen you going through this with these niggas. What were you doing this whole time? Were you in a mosque? Were you a monk, motherfucker? What was you doing? You wasn't fucking
that means that's the person that understands her the most. See, I look at stuff differently. That means if I've been around and seen her through her failed relationships, I probably know her the most.
As long as
that means
like
she's getting advice from me. I'm hearing her point of view.
Ran on her or something like shit. Why do I really care?
So he
she
probably
doing dicks. You know what I'm saying? That's her business.
I'm talking about men's egos, right?
Oh, I mean, see me, I'm different.
No, listen. Men's egos are. You was this whole time. I've been here. This whole time I've been here.
But if he didn't present himself as
and you've been fucking on everything else, but me. This whole time, a man.
But has she been curving? Okay, now you put another layer on it. So if she been curving you,
I was about to say, did he ever present himself?
If she curving you, that's different.
Right.
Or what if you was hoeing too and she didn't want to hoe with you and she hoeing too? That don't because you.
She probably like I want to get my hoish ways out. You get yours out there. We come back. You gonna.
They probably was never on that.
Good. But you was out there doing you
T.
too.
Neal said his ego. Yeah. It's his ego. It's yours.
Yeah, it's
I respect it though. I don't got nothing. You ain't got it. Yeah, I ain't got nothing against it. That's your views.
All right, man. All right.
You don't want to marry your friend.
I'm just telling you.
I don't care.
Well, Don friends, y'all know he don't want to marry none of y'all.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you that it's not just me. Nigga, Tony just said it's me. My ego.
No, I think he's saying that person in this conversation. I think he's saying that to any guy that will feel that way. It's the guy's ego is gonna be, because I would think that the couple will finally realize, hey, we done been 3 months.
And I think with love and falling in love with people, you gotta let ego and pride go.
Call
or
in,
you're not
Tony.
really in
Tony
love.
said, can we call in?
And look, when I say when a person loves somebody. And that goes whether you married, single, baby mama, baby daddy. When you loving that person, man, you going through hell, high water, man. You selling your stamps if you head to.
Facts.
So it's like, how can you say because you have a past or you slept with 15 dudes?
It's not
I'm dude number 16.
Stacey, but it's not about their past. It's the fact that you've been there. Through that,
but was you hitting on her through that? Was you shooting your shot at her?
It don't really matter.
Why?
It does, because some people listen. Some people look at that as I didn't been through so much with this person. I'm low key was this person's whatever during that whole time period where y'all wasn't looking at each other in that aspect, but now y'all at a place in life to where like, hold on. This maybe like people always say that one of my best friends. They be like, why don't y'all ever be together? How much, and that
it's rare. It's rare.
It's rare.
It's rare.
All right, we're going to come back to this topic shortly. You know what I'm saying? On that note, man, this was episode 202 of the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast, man. We appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody that was in the comments. Y'all know we keep dope dialogue, dope conversations, grown folk talk over here, man. We went from politics to relationships, all types of shit, and that's what we do over here at Slick Talk, and we appreciate y'all tuning in and tapping in with us. And on that note, man, Stacy, let the people know where they can find you at when they come vote and all that type of shit before we sign up out of here.
Yeah, once again, you can check out my website, www.smiterforalderman.com. That's SMITER, alderman.com. The spring election is February 20th, 2024, followed by the primary, April 2nd, 2024.
And on that note, man, this was the Slick Talk with Scalez podcast. We will see y'all next Wednesday. We are out. Peace.
Peace.